Repairing or maintaining commercial vehicles, you need Total Care. Whether you're fitting out a new workshop, bringing your vehicle maintenance in-house, or thinking of an upgrade, our equipment experts will make the process simple. And with UK-wide service engineer coverage and flexible finance options, you can be sure that for workshop equipment, it's Total Care.
So here we are down at Snetterton Circuit. We're getting very close to the end of the season now. And you join me today outside the GD Plus fuel tanker, which of course is our championship fuel sponsor this year, putting the power in all of our racing trucks for the 2023 season. We've got some fantastic racing action to show you today, so let's have a look at some of the highlights from here at Snetterton.
Pace truck about to head into pit lane then, ready for our first British Truck Racing Championship race of the weekend. Ryan Smith on pole position, the man gunning for an 8th consecutive Division 1 title this year. 10 times British champion Stuart Oliver, alongside him Paul Rivett and Adam Bint. The title contenders lead the Division 2 field away a little bit further back. This will be a 15-minute race. Up towards the red lights they come in the sunshine of Snetterton. Ryan Smith has won the first race from pole position at every event so far this year. Can he do so again? Let's find out. We're underway. Decent start by the two front row men, Bradley Smith and David Jenkins on the second row of the grid. Good start by Bradley, the young gun in the number 46 MAN. They're all away well into riches for the first time. Ryan Smith slots into the lead, and well bunched up behind. Paul Rivett takes the lead of Division 2, 4-time winner at Donington Park last time out. Down towards the Wilson hairpin. Ryan Smith's got the advantage over Stuart Oliver in second place. Side by side for third, Bradley Smith and David Jenkins. Then the Reeds in their Ivicos, and Michael Oliver goes a little bit wide onto the grass there, kicks up some dust as they head down to Palmer, ahead of Stuart Oliver in two bonneted trucks out in front. Bradley Smith defending from David Jenkins for third as they go up towards Agostini for the first time. Completing the top five is one of the Reeds in their two Ivicos. Already been some contact there. Looks like some damage to the front of Stephen Powell's MAN. Jim Bennett at the back of the field, the number 28, the Seth Atkinson. Stephen Powell may well have clipped the back of Bradley Smith there. You can see his rear wheel arches hanging loose on the number 46. Looking at the points standings going into this race, it is Ryan Smith who leads on 252 points ahead of Stuart Oliver on 218, David Jenkins on 214, so a fairly close battle between those two for second in the championship. Stuart Oliver, the 10 times champion. We heard from Ryan Smith. He's gunning for his 8th consecutive Division 1 title. Bradley Smith up there in third. I don't know how his crew rebuilt that truck at Donington after he went into the barriers at the Craner Curves and Convoy in the Park, so he could contest the very next truck race. Further back in Division 2, the points are led by Adam Bintz, number 5 in his Volvo, ahead of John Powell and Paul Rivett. Paul Rivett had 4 wins at Donington Park, and he's leading here at the moment. We'll look back at Division 2 in just a moment. Ricky Collick going sideways there out of Murray's. When they complete the first lap, it is Ryan Smith who leads by nearly 2 seconds already ahead of Stuart Oliver. He was over a second quicker than the rest of the field in the qualifying session earlier on this morning. See that damage to the front of Stephen Powell's number 3 MAN. He runs in P9 as they complete their first lap around the Wilson's hairpin. 2 Reeds in there, Simon and Craig, the 2 brothers. They're identical red Ivicos. There's the lead battle in Division 2. The Napa MAN of Paul Rivett has the lead ahead of Adam Bintz. John Powell and Craig Evans battling for third position. There's John Bowler, the number 14, had his only win of the season, his first Division 1 win at Thruxton earlier in the year. John Powell ahead of Evans. Further back, Simon Cole, the number 41. Now, he started the season in Division 1, but after repeated problems with the Division 1 truck, he switched to Division 2 with an Iveco. And with him is Neil Yates, number 33. Now, that's a Division 1 truck, but as a relative newcomer, he's elected to start from the back of the grid behind the Division 2 trucks. Saw him have a huge accident at Thruxton earlier this season, racing one of Stephen Powell's trucks. Ryan Smith continues to lead in the Northside Truck and Van Daimler Freightliner, going clear of Stuart Oliver, the 10-time champion in the Volvo. Bradley Smith, the youngest man on the grid, holding third. David Jenkins in fourth. Then we've got Simon Reed in fifth position. A little bit of smoke there, or steam maybe, off the back of Bradley Smith in the 46. Hope that's not going to prove terminal. Maybe just water leaking from the water-cooled braking system. Hopefully that's only the case, and it's not something more serious for young Bradley Smith, who's having a quite superb season. Still yet to get his first win in the British Championship. David Jenkins hasn't won this year either, the former champion. Simon Reed, Michael Oliver, son of Stuart, in the second of the GT Tyres trucks. Then it's Craig Reed. Battle is on between Tom O'Rourke, who gets through there, the Scotsman, ahead of Stephen Powell, and John Bowler, and Ricky Collins, the heavy haulage boss from Yorkshire, in the number 95. Paul Rivette leads Division 2 ahead of Adam Binns. John Powell.
Very comfortable pulling away with his execution in Carland at this rate, so he's pumping it down there. He's right to trying to add to his pleasure of wins already this season.
9.5 minutes of this race to go. Race 1 of 5 this weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship. Here comes Craig Reed attacking Michael Oliver. It's one win for Michael Oliver so far this year at Pembrey in Wales. The trucks go to Wales again in October before the finale on Bonfire Night at Brands Hatch. All 18 trucks still running. One driver we are still missing, sadly, this weekend is Jock Borthwick, after not fully recovering from injuries sustained in a motorcycle accident earlier this season. He had hoped to be back for Snetterton, but he's now aiming for Pembrey in October. There you can see the front bumper hanging off Stephen Powell's MAN, the man from Kent, and he's going to lose a place there. I think Powell's slowing down, in fact. John Bowler going through there at Oggies. Yeah, Stephen Powell's in trouble. He's definitely slowing down. Ryan Smith dominating. He's taken pole position in every qualifying session this year. Looking uncatchable yet again. He had 3 wins at Brands Hatch at the season opener, 3 wins at Pembrey, 2 wins at Thruxton, 3 at Donington. Battle on for third place, Bradley Smith being reeled in. That slightly smoky MAN by David Jenkins. He's desperate for a win this year. And there is gentleman Jim Bennett, recently celebrated his 74th birthday and still going strong at the wheel of that classic Seddon Atkinson. Not the oldest chassis in the championship though, that's the DAF you can see there, number 6 John Powell is the oldest truck out there. Black and orange flag is being shown. Is that for Stephen Powell? Yes, it is. So number 3 Stephen Powell is being flagged in. He's slowing down anyway, so that'll be the reason why. The black flag with the orange disc, the meatball flag as the drivers call it, means technical problem, call into the pits. So whether it's that loose bodywork or whether he's leaking fluid or something else, I'm not sure. Stephen Powell's going to have to pull into the pits. David Jenkins pursuing Bradley Smith for third, then it's Simon Reed. Craig Reed all over the back there of Michael Oliver through the long left at Agostini, named after motorcycle legend Giacomo Agostini. 6.5 minutes remain. No change among the front runners. Stephen Powell has pulled into the pits. Division 2, it's still Paul Rivette ahead of Adam Bint by 1.3 seconds. Rivette trying to close the gap in Division 2. It's a 13-point lead at the moment for Adam Bint over John Powell. Paul Rivette, who had one or two teething issues at the MAN at the start of the season, in third. Then Craig Evans and Jim Bennett. Here's Simon Cole, recent convert into Division 2. Well, back to Division 2 because he used to run the Mercedes, of course, the Mercedes Beast, as he called it, with support from Team Hard. John Powell still holding off Craig Evans. This is the battle for third in Division 2, 13th overall. Still Bradley Smith holding on. There's Neil Yates, which scored a glimpse of. There's Jim Bennett at the back of the field, these two having their own battle. Neil Yates in a Division 1 truck. It's only his second time in Division 1, so electing to start from the rear of the grid. Runs a recovery company, Neil Yates, based across the southeast of England. Ryan Smith leads by over 4 seconds now. There's a black and white flag for number 89. That's Simon Reed. It's Craig Reed, who had several lap times deleted for exceeding track limits in qualifying earlier on. There's Tom O'Rourke, the MV Commercials MAN. David Jenkins still desperate to get past Bradley Smith. These two are 4.5 seconds down now on Stuart Oliver in second place. There goes Adam Bint, we just saw in second in Division 2, the black and orange Volvo. Craig Evans up the outside. You're not going to get a truck around the outside of the Wilson's Head. Brown Recycling MAN on the back of the Dutch-built DAF towards Palmer. These two fighting for third in Division 2. Looks like Stephen Powell has retired from the race. Now this race decides the grid for race 3 of the weekend, with the top 8 reversed in each division. So who's in 8th place at the moment? It's Tom O'Rourke. This will give him pole for race 3. But in Division 2, well, there's only 6 entries, so they'd be flipped around. It'd be Jim Bennett who starts on pole. Still Ryan Smith pulling away at the front. He's done the fastest lap of the race, 2:23.991. His last lap, though, was a 2:26, slower than Stuart Oliver. Still the third place battle goes on. They're not going to catch Smith and Oliver. Here comes Ryan Smith. We've not seen much of him in this race because, as he always seems to in race 1 of the weekend, he's run away. 2:51 left on the clock as he crosses the line, so we should get 2 more laps out of this. No last lap board in evidence. It's 5.8 seconds in it now. Still, Craig Evans can't get past John Powell. Craig Evans is still yet to win in Division 2. He came closest to Brands Hatch at Easter weekend at the season opener when he came within half a lap of his first win, but ran wide over the gravel and allowed John Powell through. Side by side, that's Craig Reed still trying to get past Michael Oliver. It's a very difficult circuit to overtake on the Snetterton 300 circuit in a truck. They get plenty of speed up down the straights. These trucks limited to 100 miles an hour electronically. If you do exceed that speed limit, then you will be penalised. Great run by Bradley Smith. This result he's had this year is a 2nd place. That was at Pembrey. Still yet to win in Division 1. David Jenkins is yet to win this year, the former champion. ST's had is a second at Donington Park and 3 second places at Brands Hatch. There's Neil Yates in the number 33 MAN. Beat it in Division 2 earlier this season. Had a couple of fifths at Thruxton before a big crash in the final race. Get to break the top 10 in Division 1. Coming round to start his final lap though is Ryan Smith. Surely heading towards that 8th title. He's made no secret of the fact he wants to better Stuart Oliver's record of 10 titles. Stuart Oliver's been European champion as well. Ryan, budget allowing, would love to compete in the European Championship, which sadly doesn't visit the UK anymore, I'm sure. See Ryan in there, given the chance. And from Nottinghamshire, over the line he goes, and Tom O'Rourke's had a moment down at Nelson. We saw the Dutch dust kicked up on the outside there, and Ricky Collett has got past him in the 95. John Bowler's gone through as well, so O'Rourke's lost 2 places, and dropping out of 8th place, has provisionally lost pole position for race 3 tomorrow as well. Smith through the hairpin for the last time. He's over, well, maybe 7 seconds clear of, and O'Rourke's off again. Has he lost brakes? Is he heading for the pit lane, I wonder? There's the pit lane entrance. We'll see if Tom O'Rourke goes in. I think he is. So that will put John Bowler up into pole position for race 3 if he finishes 8th. But he's got Ricky Collett behind him. Neil Yates, number 33, has been lapped, which means Jim Bennett will have been as well, I think. No, Jim Bennett is actually ahead of Neil Yates. There's Jim. So Neil might have had an off somewhere. It's going to be Ryan Smith heading for victory. Has he been beaten in the first race of a weekend at all this year? No, he hasn't. He's won the first 2 races of every meeting so far this year, Ryan Smith. And he's won race 3 twice as well. This will be win number 12 for Ryan this year, because he won race 5 at Brands Hatch as well. Of course, at Thruxton we only had 4 races because the truck racing was abandoned after Neil Yates' accident in race 4. There's Jim Bennett in the Seth Atkinson. I don't know if Ryan Smith needs to pass him here. He can just take it easy on the run to the line now. But you try telling that to a driver when he's leading a motor race. Through he goes. Keeping up his unbeaten run of pole positions this year. It's going to be his unbeaten run of wins in race 1 at every meeting this year as well. Checkered flag is in sight from the marshals on the pit wall. And here he comes, win number 12 in 2023 for Ryan Smith. Flying Ryan takes the flag. It's going to be Stuart Oliver home in 2nd place. He crosses the line, 8.2 seconds behind. And side by side, almost for 3rd, Bradley Smith hangs on ahead of David Jenkins. Simon Reed will be 5th in the Iveco. Meantime, in Division 2, it's going to be Paul Rivett in his MAN, Division 2 for the slightly less modified, slightly less powerful trucks. Meanwhile, Michael Oliver 6th ahead of Craig Reed. He held off the Iveco. 8th place, it's going to be John Bowler, I think, just ahead of Ricky Collett. John Bowler 8th, and he gets pole for race 3. Paul Rivett in 10th place overall will win Division 2 by a clear margin over Adam Bint. Binty comes home in 2nd place. And the battle for 3rd is going to go to the line. Craig Evans and John Powell side by side. Who's going to be 3rd in Division 2? John Powell just gets there. Beat Craig Evans by less than 0.2 of a second. Jim Bennett and Neil Yates have finished a lap down. Just waiting for Simon Cole to come in with his Iveco. Paul Rivett wins Division 2, Ryan Smith Division 1 in our first truck race of the weekend. Thanks to all your comments coming in on YouTube as well. Go through some of those when we get time. Ryan Smith wins by just over 8 seconds ahead of Stuart Oliver. Bradley Smith holding off David Jenkins for a podium in third, then Simon Reed fifth. Michael Oliver held off Craig Reed for sixth. John Bowler just beat Ricky Collett home for 8th place and pole for Division 1 for race 3 tomorrow. Paul Rivette wins Division 2, completing the top 10 overall. Let's head down to Park Fermé.
Wow, what a great start to the weekend. Fantastic result for the top 3. Ryan Smith, Stuart Oliver, and I told you it was going to happen. Bradley Smith taking his first podium of the weekend in 3rd place. What a phenomenal start to Snetterton for him. Over in Division 2, Paul Rivette continuing his reign of first place results, taking 4 first place podiums over in Donington a few weeks ago. Looks like he's found that rut that he's going to be very happy with. You join us now down here in Park Fermé. Let's have a quick chat to Dave Jenkins. He's first out, headphones out, sweat pouring off them. The temperatures here, although not the hottest day of the year, still rather warm. Dave, what a battle that was. We enjoyed watching every lap, but I'm sure you probably didn't enjoy it as much as we did.
No, Bradley's just coming on great, isn't he? You know, fantastic truck, good team, good driver. We're not quite on our A game today, and Bradley's just done a solid job. Brilliant, well done to him.
But I mean, you finished where we qualified, so it's not like you've dropped back per se. You know, second fastest to start again this afternoon, and then tomorrow it's reverse grid, so we really will separate the men from the boys, quite literally.
Yeah, it's going to be a long, tough weekend, isn't it? So good, solid points on the board to start the day with, and then see where we go from here now.
Fantastic news, Dave. Thanks very much. Good driving regardless. Here he is, the man, can I say man, the man of the hour, Bradley Smith. I told you you'd got that, didn't I?
Yeah, you called it. Can you have your race, please?
Yeah, do that, yeah. So next race, second place, we're easing you in.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah.
We'll give it a go.
How was that then? Quite the battle. We just spoke to Dave Jenkins. He says you're coming on fantastically. You were obviously on the massive defensive. Quite a big gap between you and second place, obviously. So yeah, how are you playing that?
Yeah, we had a good start. Got on the inside of Dave, managed to hold third, and then I was just overdriving a bit, trying to keep up with Stuart and Ryan, just trying to keep on them so I can learn, see their lines, but made a few mistakes and Dave was on me, and then just defending, and yeah, we had a good race.
Do you know where you'll be starting in the second race of the day?
I think I'm fourth or my second quickest qualifying, so it should be fourth, up with the quick boys again, so just follow them, keep learning and keep pushing.
So I think this race was more defence, next race is going to be more attack.
Yeah, we'll go back, we'll look at some footage, see where I can improve and keep pushing.
Excellent, well done Bradley. I told him, just come to me, Mystic Pointy. Right, let's head back then to the Division 2 and we'll have a word. Where is he? Paul Rivette continuing his first place reign of the Division 2. We had 4 first places that I recorded at least at Donington, and of course you've come straight into Snetterton and yet another first place.
Yes, that's 5 in a row now, and we were so unlucky at Donington with the turbo pipe coming off in the first race. Otherwise we would have had that clean sweep of all 5. We were in the lead when it happened, so you know, I'm on a mission to try and do that this weekend. Of course these guys won't make it easy, you know, he's chasing on our heels really hard behind, but I'm going to do my best to bring this Napa truck home first for all of them this weekend.
I was going to say, I mean, we do this, we're looking at Formula 1 records now, aren't we? If we can make it 10 in a row, we will have to take it to Pembury for the decider, but it could happen, right?
Yeah, I'll take just the 5 in the one weekend, that'll do me.
5 in a weekend, that is impressive. I would like to see that, and I think it would be great for the fans as well, but still quite a tussle. I mean, the results ending up were still very, very close in Division 2. For the rest of the season now, we've only got Pembury and Brands Hatch left. You've really got to make it count.
Yeah, we were 23 points behind in the championship coming into here, behind Adam Bint, so we've just gained 2 there, and this is what we need, is to keep chipping away. If we can get 2 every race this weekend from him, then you know, that's them within striking distance when we get to Pembury.
I was going to say 12 between him and John, and it's moving all the time. The Division 2 championship is so fluid at the moment. Did you see any action from the Division 1s? Because of course you are quite close up with them nowadays, so did you see any tussling going on through the windscreen rather than out the rear view mirror?
There was a little bit. I saw the odd one dropping out in front with either mechanicals or damage, but no, I didn't get to see too much. It was quite calm, to be honest, for that one. It was about as calm as they get from my point of view.
I mean, I think we should just be grateful. We've got 6 trophies to hand out, 3 for Div 2, 3 for Div 1. We've got no major incidents. I mean, it's a shame for Steve Powell. Obviously, he had to retire from the race. His front bumper fell off. Essentially, he had a bit of a contact with someone. Didn't end well for him, unfortunately. So, yeah, but you've come out of it unscathed, head held high, first place. Paul, well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah, bring on the next one.
Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look. If we can't find someone else, let's go this way because the door's open. We've got Michael Oliver and Craig Reed chatting to each other.
Post-race debrief, that's what we've been doing.
Post-race
that's what we're doing.
What has come up so far?
Basically, I tried to overtake Michael, lost me brakes got a bit warm, and then I had to calm down a bit then, so I run out of brakes.
I'm not a racing driver, but usually you're not supposed to use brakes whilst you're trying to overtake, right?
No, that's how you do it.
Is that how you do it? You brake, go faster?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, just talking, see, is one opportunity to get past us. He went off on turn 1, and I was looking in the mirror laughing. And because I was laughing, I ended up going straight on for turn 2, and then he got up the inside.
He took the inside of him, and then I lost my horse then. So what it is, I think both of us are trying to find the fastest line around here, but we haven't found it yet.
You know, if you just follow the guys at the front, they usually know the quickest one.
I don't like that. Interview over.
We'll take offence.
Interview over.
Okay, interview. We'll just talk to Craig instead then. Like, you tell me more about coming up the inside.
Yeah.
I stopped counting after 4 usually.
He was the 6th loser, I was just the 5th loser.
Yeah. No, it was a good laugh, to be fair. It's just to be honest with you, it's that hot.
Yeah, it's gone weird, hasn't it, this weekend?
And it was just a bit, like, to be honest with you, it was... No aircon. Honestly, she doesn't come with aircon, unfortunately. I'm going to have to install it though, definitely.
Have a separate pump for it though. We don't want to slow down the main engine, do we?
Oh, of course you do. You've got to be comfortable.
Oh yeah, no, but if we get a separate thing running the aircon, it won't affect your overall power, will it?
No, you need the aircon on the wagon just so it's standard.
Right.
You need the bigger alternator so you can run the microwave and the kettle.
Oh yeah, I'd go for the coffee percolator over the kettle.
Yeah, definitely.
All about the coffee for me.
I mean, you're not a proper trucker though, are you?
Well, true. Yeah. Well, so what do you make with your kettle then? If I'm not a proper trucker?
Black coffee.
Well, yeah, but with the
sorry, dirty black coffee.
Dirt. Right. So with a bottle of whiskey in each mug, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was a good. To be honest with you, we. Putting your coffee aside, we did. I think looking forward at the battle that was going on forward, that looked a bit boring. So that's why I was attacking Michael to give the fans a good, breathtaking moment. But
it's all about the entertainment.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're going to piss it, aren't we, Craig?
Oh yeah. Listen, we'll be up there tomorrow. It might be the reverse grid, but we'll be up there.
Seen this trailer?
Fantastic.
If you have, take a photo when safe and then send it to us. All for a chance to win one of our 5 miniature truck and trailers.
Repairing or maintaining commercial vehicles, you need total care. Whether you're fitting out a new workshop, bringing your vehicle maintenance in-house, or thinking of an upgrade, our equipment experts will make the process simple. And with UK-wide service engineer coverage, and flexible finance options, you can be sure that for workshop equipment, it's total care.
This is the start for race 1, now on to race 2 at Snetterton.
Whoa. Wonder what I've done though, that. Could have did a good job though, didn't he, eh? Yeah, do alright. Cheers, mate. Carter, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this space. Race 2, yeah? Race 2.
Second fastest time for each driver in qualifying sets the grid for this race, and it is once again, no surprise, Ryan Smith on pole for our second truck race of the weekend alongside number 7 Stuart Oliver. Second row David Jenkins, number 69, ahead of 46 Bradley Smith. We saw them glued together for third in race 1. Row 3, number 12 Michael Oliver, ahead of 89 Simon Reed. And on the fourth row, number 14 John Bowler and 86 Tom O'Rourke in their MANs. Hopefully Tom O'Rourke's fixed whatever the issue was in race 1. Likewise, Stephen Powell, he's on row 5 alongside Ricky Collett. And completing the Division 1 field, it is number 68 Craig Reed. He only got one time lapping in qualifying. Unfortunately, all his other times were disallowed for exceeding track limits, so he has to start at the back in Division 1 for this one. We have got one other Division 1 entry here, of course, Neil Yates electing to start at the back, as he is fairly new to truck racing. We haven't got Simon Faulkner this weekend, number 92, unfortunately. And of course Jock Borthwick, unfortunately, still out recovering from his injuries. But I'm sure Jock is watching along with his family. Get well soon, Jock. We'll see you hopefully at Pembrey. Division 2, meanwhile, Paul Rivette on pole in his MAN alongside the number 5 Adam Bintz. Second row, Craig Evans and Simon Cole, a decent effort from him. Head on to the second row in Division 2, John Powell and Jim Bennett on row 3. Neil Yates in the Division 1 truck completes the grid for this one. Well, it was Flying Ryan all the way in race 1 ahead of Stuart Oliver, with Bradley Smith holding on for a podium in third place. Must thank all the sponsors and associates of the truck BTRC, the British Truck Racing Championship this year. Of course, all the trucks running on HVO fuel this year. Adam Bint pioneered that in the championship, a simpler and more importantly clean alternative to diesel, used from made from waste-derived cooking oils and fats. So keep eating your fish and chips from your local chippy. You never know if you're a truck racing fan. The waste oil might be going into these trucks. Other partners of the championship include TRP Parts, Truck and Trailer Parts, over 130 locations across the UK. Road Transport Media, who publish the famous Truck and Driver magazine, among others. MV Commercials, headed up by Tom O'Rourke. Vision Track, video telematics and vehicle data. Freyhouf Trailers, Total Care Vehicle Lifts, and GT Tyres as well, plus MAN Truck and Bus. Dines Motor Group are also supporters of the championship. Thanks to all of them. It's the TRP truck that's leading them round on this rolling lap. Big beasts in the east of England once again. Can anyone stop Flying Ryan Smith, going for win number 13 of the season here at Snetterton? Stuart Oliver had 2 wins at Pembrey, 1 at Thruxton, so going for win number 4 of the season here. David Jenkins and Bradley Smith both looking for their first. Paul Rivette battling with Adam Bint for the lead of the Division 1 points. John Powell not far away as well. Keeping it steady on this rolling lap as the sun begins to set here at Snetterton. There's Neil Yates at the back in the NYR Neil Yates Recovery Racing Team, MAN. Keep an eye on Simon Cole, looking for his best Division 2 result of the season so far as well. Can Craig Evans get his first Division 2 win? He is desperate for a victory. 5-ton, 1,000 horsepower race trucks up towards the red lights. The pace truck is in pit lane. Tension mounts. Race 2 of 5 this weekend here at Snetterton for the British Truck Racing Championship. Lights about to go out. Here we go. The power comes on, and away they go. Decent getaway by Stuart Oliver. Watch for Michael Oliver as well, trying to get through the middle. Paul Rivett leads off in Division 2. Something flew off. I don't know who that came from at the back of the Division 1 pack there, but Ryan Smith has the lead ahead of Oliver. Jenkins in third. Michael Oliver's flown through into fourth. There's contact between Tom O'Rourke and one of the Reeds there going into Riches, I think, as Ryan Smith leads up towards the hairpin for the first time. David Jenkins trying to get up the outside, so is Michael Oliver. We look back in the pack. There was some contact there in the early stages. Michael Oliver's been shuffled wide by Bradley Smith, one of the Reeds involved. It was Tom O'Rourke who got hit on the first corner by either Simon or Craig Reed. Couldn't tell which. Back of his truck looking a bit second hand, but the race continues. David Jenkins all over the back of Stuart Oliver. It's Ryan Smith who leads down to Agostini for the first time, side by side for second, but Oliver's got the inside line. Here comes Bradley Smith up the inside on 89 of Simon Reed. Division 2 battle heads into Agostini as well. Clouds of dust being kicked up on the outside there. Well, Ryan Smith's already escaping. Stuart Oliver in second place. Third is Jenkins. 89 of Simon Reed under fire from John Bowler. He's got away well in the number 14. Then it's O'Rourke. Michael Oliver got forced wide on the hairpin. Made a good start, was up into fourth place, but 3 into 1 didn't go at the hairpin, unfortunately. Behind him, Stephen Powell in the number 3. We've lost somebody up there, I noticed, at the entry to Oggies. It's one of the Reeds, it's Craig Reed. I think he's got away without hitting anything, spraying water out there as the truck rejoins. We're on board with the number 12 of Michael Oliver, chasing the remnants of Tom O'Rourke's truck briefly there, as they start to sort themselves out around the completion of the first lap. Stephen Powell trying to close up on Michael Oliver. Paul Rivett, meanwhile, is leading Division 2. One truck I've not seen out there is... there he is, Ricky Collett. I was wondering where he'd gone. He must have tangled with Craig Reed. I was wondering where Ricky had gone. He's in among the Division 2 trucks. There's Simon Cole. Further back, John Powell's been delayed as well, number 6. There's been a bit of a melee at Oggies, I think. Adam Bint under fire from Craig Evans in the number 10. Hard to see through these clouds of dust and smoke in the late afternoon sun. You can't emit any black smoke. If there's black smoke seen coming from your truck, you will get a black flag in return. Paul Rivett leads Division 2 then. Side by side between Adam Bint and Craig Evans, and the third championship contender John Powell's dropped back. Simon Reed having a go at Bradley Smith. This is for fourth place. David Jenkins escaped into third place ahead of them. But Ryan Smith leads at the end of lap 1 by nearly 5.5 seconds. That's how dominant Ryan Smith is. And look at Tom O'Rourke's truck, it's falling apart. Thankfully, that's only superficial damage, just a bit of body work. He got clobbered by one of the Reeds. I think it was Craig Reed on the first corner. Craig Reed has come into the pits. I wouldn't be surprised if that collision has damaged his steering, and that's why he went off at Oggies. Yeah, Tom O'Rourke will have to be hoping that that bodywork doesn't flap around too much, or else he'll get the black and orange flag and have to come into the pits for the team to remove it. He's got Michael Oliver, number 12, on his tail. It's not a happy day for Craig Reed. He had all but one of his lap times disallowed in qualifying, and now he's in the pits. Stephen Powell having a better run though towards the back of the Division 1 field. Well, there's Ryan Smith. He's in a different race to everybody else. Even with all his wins over the last 7-8 years, I've never seen him clear off in front of a field like this in the early stages. Stuart Oliver in second place, still ahead of David Jenkins, champion back in 2011. 89 Simon Reed, chasing hard after Bradley Smith. Craig Reed, of course, a former Division 2 champion, appears to be out of the race in the pit lane. Division 2 led by Paul Rivett, taking the fight to Adam Bint. in the points charts. Looking at the points, Adam Bint led by just 13 points over John Powell coming into this weekend. Paul Rivett a further 11 points back, so he's got a bit of work to do to catch them up. Craig Evans not far away, he's on 234 points. So he's 32 points behind Bint, 32 points covering the, as I say that, John Powell has slowed. What's happened there to the number 6? He's dropped behind Jim Bennett and Neil Yates, so John Powell's in trouble. Yep, the indicator's going, he's pulling into the pits, I think. Simon Reed almost pushing Bradley Smith through the hairpin there. Bradley Smith, not to be confused with number 16, Brad Smith, who we saw out at Donington in the International Truck Pre-races, along with a certain John McGuinness, among others, the Isle of Man TT legend. What is it about motorcycle racers and truck racing? John McGuinness, the latest motorcycle convert. We've seen Barry Sheen race trucks in the past when the sport first started in the 80s. Steve Parrish, of course, former bike racer, went on to become a multiple European truck racing champion. Steve Parrish, no less, was out at the Goodwood Revival back on a motorcycle last week, sharing with Barry Sheen's son Freddie. Bradley Smith goes a bit wide through Hamilton there in the Scrapco and Ferns sponsored 46, the 89 Reed Freight Iveco behind him. And behind them, John Bowler running well. One win for him in Division 1 so far, it was at Thruxton. John Powell has indeed pulled into the pits, problems for the DAF. That could harm his championship challenge. He needs every point he can get. Well, Ryan Smith is in a different league out in front. Over 8 seconds clear now. Here's the battle in Division 2. This is for second place. Paul Rivett's got ahead of Ricky Collett, of course. There's a buffer between Rivett and his championship rival Adam Bint. David Jenkins still harrying Stuart Oliver as Simon Reed at the inside at Corham goes through. Good move, Simon Reed up into 4th place past Bradley Smith. Bradley Smith, who his team pulled off the most amazing rebuild I've ever seen. He went into the tyre wall at the Craner Curves at Convoy in the Park at Donington, and somehow the team got the truck back out for the next race after the front axle had been ripped out. I've never seen anything like that. Full credit to number 46 team. There's Simon Cole, he's still going well up there in 4th in Division 2. Craig Evans is all over Adam Bint in the older Volvo. Adam is a former Division 2 champion of several years ago. This Volvo used to be in a blue and white livery, the colours of CMG Recovery. Changed to this menacing black and orange colour scheme. Bonneted Volvo is, of course, reminiscent of the trucks that Richard Walker was so successful in back in the 90s, the Lucas-sponsored machines. Before that, Richard raced the Century Oils Kenworth until it was completely destroyed in a massive start-line collision at Zolder. Look up the onboard footage from that incident. It's quite scary. Well, there's Tom O'Rourke. Running a bit wide there, the truck fortunately not shedding any more body panels, and Bradley Smith's in trouble. He's lost places, he's dropping down the order. Stephen Powell's gone through, so has Michael Oliver. I think we might see Bradley Smith heading for the pits here. That's a great shame. Well, Ryan Smith, no relation to Bradley, incidentally, leading by over 10 seconds now. There he is, into Brundle. Six minutes of the race to go. It's making it look effortless out in front, Ryan Smith. He's won races 1 and 2 at every round this year. This will be win number 13 for him. Stuart Oliver still there in 2nd place. He's had 3 wins so far this year. David Jenkins yet to taste victory. Simon Reed throwing the number 89 around there in 4th place. But John Bowler has adapted quickly to Division 1 up there in 5th. Tom O'Rourke going well up in P6 despite that early damage. Stephen Powell 7th, then Michael Oliver. Now this race sets the grid for race 4 tomorrow. We're on board with Michael Oliver. As it stands at the moment, he's in P8. He would stand to take pole position for race 4 with the top 8 reversed. Bradley Smith and Craig Reed, of course, after their problems, would have to start from the back. Back of Division 1, that is. Now, has Bradley Smith pulled it into the pit lane? We'll wait and see. Well, he may not have got that far. He hasn't come through yet. Yes, he is into pit lane. Problems for Bradley Smith, sadly. So that's let Ricky Collett up into P9. Paul Rivette, the Division 2 leader, is now 10th. Now, how far ahead of Adam Bint is he? 6.5 seconds. So it's looking good for Paul Rivette once again in Division 2. 4 wins at Donington last time out. Stuart Oliver, the 10 times champion. He's been there, seen it and won it in truck racing. He's been European champion as well. Chased by David Jenkins. Yeah, the Digraph Morris Lubricants MAN. Simon Reed just keeping a watching brief in 4th. Had a couple of wins in his Division 1 career, former Division 2 star. There's Bradley Smith's crew at work in the pit lane, trying to find out what the problem is. Yeah, Simon Reed has had 2 wins this year so far, both at Donington Park in the Iveco on his local circuit, the man from Stoke-on-Trent. And here's that Division 2 battle for second place. They're not catching Paul Rivette, however. Craig Evans is still all over Adam Bint, who's doing as much as he can to hold him off. There's Rivette, keeping pace with Ricky Collett, the Division 1 veteran. Former champion. Bint just holds the inside line there under the bridge for the left-hander. Swing their way out of Nelson. Up towards the bomb hole. See the circuit drop down there and then back up again. It's a depression in the circuit. The feature of Snetterton, since the place opened, as motorcyclists first noted this, as we said earlier. Through the left at Murray's. Still Craig Evans cannot get past that number 5 of Adam Bint. Just over 2 minutes to go now, so wait to see whether it'll be 1 or 2 more laps to go for Ryan Smith. Stuart Oliver being closed down by David Jenkins for that second place. They're over 15 seconds down on Ryan Smith. He's just so dominant this season. Of course, things might change in races 3 and 4, where he'll have to start from P8 on the grid. But he's even won from there this season on a couple of occasions. These two a couple of seconds clear of Simon Reed in 4th. Then a gap back to John Bowler of around 6 seconds. The lead gap in Division 2 has increased to over 9 seconds now. Paul Rivette is similarly running away with that. I think we'll get 1 more lap out of this. It won't matter to Ryan Smith. The only question for him now, unless he suffers a mechanical problem, is how far he's going to win by. Still, Craig Evans throwing everything he's got at Adam Bint for second in Division 2. They're not going to catch this man, Paul Rivette, the multiple Renault Clio champion. He's done a few BTCC races as well. Now in his new calling of truck racing, and he's chasing Ricky Collett. Ryan Smith has just gone onto his last lap. There are a few seconds left when he crossed the line. Bit of smoke there from Ricky Collett, I think, or is that steam from the brakes? It looked like more like smoke to me. Yes, there's definitely some smoke there. Ricky Collett had a spectacular engine blow up in the first weekend of the year on Easter weekend at Brands Hatch. I hope that's not going to happen again. He does not want to let another engine go up in flames. They are extremely expensive race truck engines. Collett, whose company hauls some of the biggest and heaviest loads seen on Britain's roads. Stuart Oliver, the GT Tyres truck, up there in second, chased by David Jenkins. Jenkins' best chance of a move is probably at Coram for the last time. Kicks up a bit of dust there. I'll say that, he's having a go at Agostini. Moves back to the outside as Oliver moves across to take the line. As if David Jenkins heard me there. Said, no, I'll make a move here instead. But that's allowed Simon Reed to close up in the Iveco. It's Daimler, Volvo, MAN, Iveco. 4 different makes in the top 4 places. In Division 2, it's MAN, Volvo, MAN, and Iveco in 4th place. Oliver goes a little bit wide there through Oggies. There's gentleman Jim Bennett, the good old Seddon Atkinson, the Ayrsham Gravels truck, the man from Suffolk. Still going strong at 74. And he's about to be lapped by Flying Ryan. He's going to take one of the most dominant wins I've seen in the British Truck Racing Championship in some time. Through the bomb hole, up towards Coram. Disappearing into the sunset. There's Bennett. There is Smith. Is Jim going to let him through here, or is he going to finish side by side? No, he's going to briefly bulk him there coming out of the corner. Excuse me, says Ryan Smith. I've got a race to win here. Bennett lets him through. Ryan Smith wins by a country mile. Jim Bennett crosses the line a lap down. We await second place to come through. Is Stuart Oliver going to hang on? It looks like it. Oh, Simon Reed's gone wide onto the grass. That's kiboshed his chance of a podium. Stuart Oliver comes over in second place, just ahead of David Jenkins. Reed in 4th. Division 2 is going to be won by Paul Rivett, but who's going to be second? Is Craig Evans going to make a late move? Been trying all race long to get past Adam Binns. Fourth has gone to Simon Reed. 5th is John Bowler, good run by him. Tom O'Rourke 6th, just ahead of Stephen Powell. Michael Oliver 8th, that'll give him pole for race 4 tomorrow. It'll be Ricky Collett in 9th place. Paul Rivett will complete the top 10 and win Division 2. Adam Binns, look at that, sideways into Murray's for the last time, coming out of Coram. That's bamboozled Craig Evans a bit there. Paul Rivett's come across the line, won Division 2, and Adam Binns with a superb defensive race takes second in class ahead of Craig Evans. It should be Simon Cole home next, the number 41. There he is coming through Coram, and Neil Yates will be the last man on the lead lap. He's over 30 seconds down though on Simon Cole. Jim Bennett has already finished a lap down. And we lost Bradley Smith, unfortunately. John Powell and Craig Reed all pulling into the pits. Here comes Simon Cole, the new Iveco, still to find its ultimate pace, but working well. At least he's picking up points now. 4th in Division 2. Jim Bennett has already come in a lap down. And here comes Neil Yates, the man who had a massive crash at Thruxton in race 4. On his truck racing debut. It certainly was a baptism of fire for him. The recovery company boss from Kent had a couple of his very impressive American trucks on display in the paddock at Convoy in the Park. He brings his number 33 MAN, one of Stephen Powell's fleet of trucks, in to take the flag. Provisional result then, Ryan Smith the winner by 20.88 seconds, an enormous margin of victory. Stuart Oliver holding off David Jenkins for second, with Simon Reed just behind them. John Bowler a good fifth ahead of Tom O'Rourke. Then Stephen Powell and Michael Oliver complete the all-important top 8. Ricky Collins, after a moment on the first lap, finishes 9th. Paul Rivette's another Division 2 win for him. That's 6th in the last 2 events. Ahead of Adam Binns, who somehow held Craig Evans off all the way. Simon Cole, Neil Yates and Jim Bennett completing the finishers. We lost Bradley Smith, John Powell and Craig Reed into the pits. Let's go and find Pointy in Parc Fermé.
What a race, my goodness me, a very interesting start. We had a little bit of contact from a few of the drivers and 3 trucks leaving us during the race due to mechanical issues, and I don't even think there were any fault of anybody else. We've of course had Ryan Smith taking the first place. We can see him over here now celebrating with some of his sponsors and teammates. Let's have a quick chat. Ryan, how are we?
Yeah, very well, very good.
The lead you had very early on in that was absolutely insane.
Well, do you know what? My mechanic did something different to engine.
I can tell. That would have put nitrous in it.
No, we've been in a power mode all year.
Right.
Where when we come to a corner, the oil pressure drops and the engine goes in safety mode, so it reduces the power. Well, he said I'm going to override it and try it, and we overrid it and got me power back in the middle of the corner.
It was just insane. I mean, 7 seconds ahead after the first lap. No, sorry, 5.5 seconds ahead after the first lap. 8.5 seconds after the second lap. And because, you know, Stuart was battling with Dave Jenkins, it was just getting further and further ahead.
We was doing 2:23.6s in the race after 3 corners. It was showing 2:23.2. So the time were there, and you know, full credit to my team. Honestly, they work hard. You know, for us, we're a smaller team than some of the teams out there. That's not taking anything away, but we work within a budget and we do the best we can. And we've got great sponsors. I've got the best mechanic and the best team, in my opinion, in the paddock. And we put a show on. And to be honest, I wanted to drive well then, and I think I did. And 21 seconds.
I think you're just looking forward to the reverse grid tomorrow, because you actually do get to do some racing.
Yeah, but my whole mentality's changed. People put a show on.
Sorry to butt in, guys. Could you just move over here, mate?
Oh, he's getting moved quick enough. His radiator will start bubbling.
People. I want to put an entertainment show on for people who's watching, paid a lot of money to come. But I also have to remember that I need the points as well. Look, I want to do the best job I can. Tomorrow's tomorrow. We'll have a good night tonight. They'll get the truck prepped for tomorrow. We'll all have a meal together. We'll all have a well, I don't drink, but I will have a cold drink together, and we look forward to tomorrow.
Cracking. Thank you very much, Ryan. John, thank you very much. Let's head down into the Parc Fermé now. Air coming out. Stuart Oliver, another fantastic result. Let's speak to Stuart Oliver just quickly. He's come through here. Are you hopping out or staying in?
I'm hopping out.
Right, I'm going to get the step. You're alright without the step, fair enough. I don't just get the step. Well, what was going on there? You and Dave battling the entire race. We lost young Bradley halfway through. A bit fell off the back of his truck and it was dragging along the tarmac.
Oh my God, I didn't see any of that. But I had a major problem. I had no speed. Well, I had no speed. It was going on to the limit at 150.
You were hitting that limiter coming down the pit straight. I was like, surely. I mean, obviously you can't go any faster. You can't go any faster, can you?
No, but it was coming up at 152 kilometres, which is about 90 miles an hour. And I think Dave's going to eat us up here, but I managed to get through the corners quick enough that he couldn't get onto us. But
it was on you the entire race. It was tight.
Good. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was, and then the sun was starting to come down as well, so you can't see a great lot what's going on.
It's bad. I mean, we've been struggling with the sun. I mean, it's really low now, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Tomorrow, the last race tomorrow will be exciting.
5 o'clock start. My gosh, that's going to be difficult.
It's good. It will be. Yeah, but no, it's good. I enjoyed that. You know, obviously Ryan was off into the sunset, literally. So,
yeah. But, 21 seconds, I think he said it.
I did. I was
insane.
I just couldn't get the legs on the straight. I just had, and here you have so many long, fast 100 mile an hour bits that I was just nowhere near, so I was losing massive. But
well done regardless. There's still another second place, another amazing amount of points. Stuart Oliver, thank you. Let's go and quickly chat to Dave Jenkins. We can see Dave now chatting to his team. Now, Dave, let's come this way. You stand this side. We're getting it. There we go. Fantastic result. what you've been looking for today. You must be a bit happier. You know, we spoke to you earlier on. Do you feel like you've found what you were missing this morning?
No. Got a bit of it, yeah. You know, obviously it's great. Podium here, sun shining, we're enjoying ourselves, aren't we? But just not got our Snetterton pace at all.
It's a shame, really, isn't it? I mean, is there any specific parts of the truck you're going to be looking at tonight to try and figure out what you can change, modify?
Yeah, we need a bit more traction in the slow speed mid turns, like in the hairpins. I'm not able to light it up early enough. And then obviously Ryan and Stuart's truck's got a little tiny bit more squirt than I've got, so unless I'm absolutely got the throttle application in completely the right place, they're just able to squirt away. Ryan's obviously package is on the next level this weekend, but Stuart's beatable, but we've got to sort this, the traction out of the slow speed corners.
Definitely. So something to look at over dinner tonight, most likely. Late night for the lads.
Yeah, no, we'll be all right. We'll have it washed and some dinner and some contemplation. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Contemplation is the key to success. Dave, congratulations on the third place regardless. Let's head down to Division 2 now, if we can, because obviously we need to shout out to the Division 2s. I've had him already. I want Craig Evans. Because everybody loves a magic story. Where is he? Here he goes. He's over here. Here we go. Craig Evans, after rebuilding his gearbox and giving us quite a nice tour around the gearbox. I'm not sure whether you'll have got to see that before this race or whether you'll see that before at some point tomorrow. But Craig showed us around the innards of a gearbox earlier on. It'll be on the highlights show, I believe, tonight. Yeah, and it was inside out, your gearbox was. So we changed the gearbox, repaired the gearbox, and you were back out. You managed to make it stick for quite a nice podium.
Yeah, I'll settle for that after the problems we've had so far this weekend. It was good battling, it was a cracking race, it was clean. Can't complain at that one bit at all.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's obviously worth the effort. Now, you sent away for parts at one point, didn't we?
Yeah, I went myself last night, jumped in the van to King's Lynn to get a bearing for the gearbox, for the splitter. Unfortunately, it didn't really pay off this morning when we obliterated the other bit of the gearbox, but never mind.
Should have just got the whole gearbox, man. This is a lesson learned. This is in for a penny, in for a pound.
Well, we should have done that last night. It would have saved us doing it between qualifying and race one, wouldn't it?
Yes, indeed. But you did it regardless, and you didn't finish too badly earlier on. And now to go home tonight with a podium, it's just a good outcome, worth all the hard work, wasn't it?
Well and truly worth the hard work. We were 0.2, I think, as we crossed the line this morning off third, and we just got a third bumper to bumper. So
absolutely fantastic. And I've heard we will be seeing the up close of your gearbox very shortly as we finish down here in Parc Fermé. So Craig, fantastic effort, well done, a great finish to the Saturday for you. More racing tomorrow, don't break anything tonight.
If you have, take a photo when safe and then send it to us. All for a chance to win one of our 5 miniature truck and trailers.
Repairing or maintaining commercial vehicles, you need total care. Whether you're fitting out a new workshop, bringing your vehicle maintenance in-house, or thinking of an upgrade, our equipment experts will make the process simple. And with UK-wide service engineer coverage and flexible finance options, you can be sure that for workshop equipment, it's total care.
So young Carter telling us about the clean start to the day into race 2 earlier on. Let's see if race 3 of the weekend is a little bit more straightforward here at Snetterton.
Let's have a confirmation of the grid then. John Bowler in pole position alongside Craig Reed in front of Division 1. Second row, Michael Oliver, number 12, and number 89, Simon Reed. MAN and Iveco on the first 2 rows. Row 3, a pair of MANs, David Jenkins, number 69, and Bradley Smith in 46. And on row 4, the 2 bonneted trucks. Stuart Oliver, number 7, Ryan Smith in number 1, the Daimler Freightliner, going for the hat-trick and his 14th win of the season already. Row 5, Ricky Collett in the MAN and Neil Yates in his new MAN alongside him from the Stephen Powell stable. Then on the 6th row of the grid, the 2 trucks that failed to finish race 1. That's Tom O'Rourke and Stephen Powell. Division 2 headed up by Jim Bennett in the Seth Atkinson alongside Simon Cole, then Craig Evans and John Powell, Adam Bint and Paul Rivett. So the leading Division 2 runners having to fight their way through. It looks like Neil Yates, yes, the white truck there, is starting from the very back of the grid, as he did yesterday. So the truck's about to be unleashed then, the TRP Truck and Trailer Parts DAF leading them round. Can Ryan Smith and Paul Rivett both make it a hat-trick? Here we go then, 15 minutes of truck racing to come. Looking back from Bradley Smith, what a sight that is. Stuart Oliver and Ryan Smith, 17 titles between them in your mirror. Not what you'd want at the start of a truck race, I don't think, but Bradley, a very, very talented young racer. Surely his first ever win is not too far away. Cloudy conditions here at Snetterton as we get ready to get underway with the first of 3 truck races here today. John Bowler and Craig Reed on the front row of the grid. Waiting for the pace truck to pull into pit lane. 5-ton beasts, almost 1,000 horsepower apiece under the driver's right feet. Here we go, beasts in the east of England here at Snetterton. The red lights are on, we're on board. We're flying Ryan Smith up towards the red lights. This first corner's not going to be for the faint of heart. Here we go. We're underway down towards Rich's corner for the first time. Stuart Oliver trying to get up the inside there. So Ricky Collett, he's got a good start in the 95 up the inside of Ryan Smith. And is that rain on the camera lens? Looks like it. Oh, Collett's gone. He's tangled with Ryan Smith. Smith's going off. Well, there go his hopes for a hat-trick. Simon Cole's gone spinning as well in the 41 into the gravel. Now, if he can't get out of there, that's going to be a race stoppage. Oh, dear. So who's leading? It's John Bowler. Michael Oliver up into second place. Third with this position, we've got Craig Reed, then David Jenkins. Ryan Smith's got going in at the back, but I saw a red light flashing there. Yeah, Ricky Collins stuck there, so it looks like the race is going to be stopped. Quite possibly 2 trucks off. Simon Cole still there as well. I suspect that's going to be a red flag. I saw lights flashing there. Whether they were yellow or red lights, I couldn't quite tell. Yes, red flag's now out. Race stopped as expected. Be patient, thanks to our recovery teams as well. Trackside Recovery, they're based at Brands Hatch, but assisting with the trucks this weekend. We saw their pickup truck down there. We also saw the Renault Kerax 4-axle truck from Hammond Recovery, Hammond Motor Group, based across the southeast of England. Let's have a look again at the incident that was brought out the red flags. Ricky Collett missing his braking points, nearly clipped the back of Stuart Oliver, did clip the back of Bradley Smith, spun out, taking Ryan Smith off into the gravel, and then behind Simon Cole spinning off in sympathy. There'd already been a bit of an incident further back on the start line in Division 1. That's why in Division 2 rather, that's why Paul Rivett was delayed. John Powell had been sent spinning. So a typically chaotic truck racing start. Mentioning there the first ever truck racing event, so it was about 30 years ago. It's actually 40 years ago next year. 1984 at the end of the season at Donington Park. I know that because my family was there. It was before I was born. My parents attended on that occasion and have told me about it many times. It was literally road-going trucks, as Pointy mentioned, entered the paddock, unhitched their trailers and raced, and then continued their journeys the next day. Tullio Ghislotti from Italy was the first ever truck race winner. It was the biggest crowd Donington, I think, had ever had up to that point. Several celebrity drivers took part as well. Barry Sheen, the motorcycling legend, The Grimer brothers of hot rod fame. I think even Martin Brundle was involved. Now let's have a look again. Let's see if we can see what happened further back in Division 2. We couldn't see through the smoke from down at Riches. Simon Cole set off into the lead. Now watch to the outside. There's John Powell. Contact, oh goodness me, that's with Craig Evans. I think he might have been being pushed by Adam Bibb. Neil Yates locks his brakes up as he tries to slow down and avoid them. That was a Code Brown moment for Neil, I think. So basically just about everyone from Ricky Collett backwards was involved there on the grid. The grid has reformed. I think everybody's still in the race. Just waiting to see Ricky Collett and Simon Cole head round. So here we go then, the revs begin to rise once again from these 1,000 horsepower engines, 12 and 13 litres in these race trucks. Here we go then, the power about to come on, the red light goes out, and here we go, John Bowler and Craig Reed lead them off down towards that first corner at Riches. Let's hope they all make it round this time. Bowler's got the lead, the Reeds tuck in behind them, Michael Oliver going for the inside, there's Stuart Oliver. Up on the grass almost on the inside is Tom O'Rourke. This time Division 1 have made it round, and look at Paul Rivette, what a start up into the lead of Division 2 if he can get round the outside of Craig Evans. John Bowler has the lead of the race in the Rochdale LGV number 14. Craig Reed in second. Look at David Jenkins up the outside. Oh, they lead on each other. Bradley Smith was the big loser there, along with Simon Reed. David Jenkins got through into third place. There's more pushing and shoving between the 46 and the number 3 of Stephen Powell. We look back, there's Ryan Smith. Now he's got more damage. He's been held up behind Tom O'Rourke in the early stages. More bodywork hanging off the number 1. He's ahead of O'Rourke. Now he's got to get ahead of these two. They're still side by side down towards Agostini. Look how close they are heading down to the left-hander as David Jenkins pushes his way up the inside of Craig Reed into second place. Then it's Michael Oliver, Simon Reed, Stuart Oliver, and those two still side by side. Ryan Smith is in 9th position, so he's lost a place off the line. Bradley Smith finally gets ahead of Stephen Powell. The 46 machine gets ahead, the two drivers from Kent. Bradley Smith from Gravesend. Stephen Powell lives just along the road from Brands Hatch Circuit. David Jenkins is looking determined here. He really, really wants that first win of the season. And he'll stop at nothing by the look of things to get ahead in this one. The leader of Division 2 is Paul Rivette ahead of Craig Evans and Adam Bintz. Looking back from Bradley Smith. He's got ahead of Stephen Powell. A non-finish yesterday has hampered his points a little. Here comes Flying Ryan up alongside the number 3 as we look back down the Bentley Straights. See the marshals have all moved back a safe distance off their marshals posts for this one in the interests of safety, because there's very little that can stop a truck at 100 mile an hour. Stephen Powell defending from Ryan Smith through Brundle and Nelson through the bomb hole. Still your leader is John Bowler. There's the battle for second and third. The Reeds in there. David Jenkins in P2 at the moment. Paul Rivette under pressure from Craig Evans for the lead of Division 2. It's John Bowler with a clear lead. He's made a cracking start. A great first lap here from the number 14, the man from Stockport near Manchester. As Ryan Smith makes a move there at Murray's, goes through up into P8 as they come across the stripe for the first time. Bowler from Jenkins. Craig Reed in third place, then Michael Oliver, Simon Reed, Stuart Oliver is 6th. Bradley Smith in P7, Ryan Smith into P8. He's got ahead of Stephen Powell. Tom O'Rourke rounds out the top 10. The Wiper is going on the 86 truck, as it is on the number 10 of Craig Evans. There's Neil Yates towards the back. So a couple of non-starts for this one. Ricky Collett, I can tell you, is out there. He's in among the Division 2 trucks. Simon Cole is further back. Jim Bennett is there. He must have started from the pit lane as well. The only truck we haven't got out there, I don't think, is John Powell, the number 6, and it's wet. See the rain on the camera lens at Palmer's. The rain is starting to come down now. Let's hope the drivers just take it carefully. Well, David Jenkins, oh, and Michael Oliver isn't. He's hit the back of Craig Reed. He's going to slide into it. Wallop. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We saw that coming as they slid down into the left-hander there. And Michael Oliver's going to be out of the race by the look of things. Just a little bit over-exuberant there as the track started to dampen, and that's end of game for Michael Oliver. Well, that's given Ryan Smith a couple of spots. He's got ahead of Bradley Smith as well in the number 1. So where is he up to now? About 5th position. the number 1 of Ryan Smith as he goes for 3 out of 3. Side by side for the lead down the Bentley straights. Here comes David Jenkins. He's going to take the lead, I think, on the inside into Brundle, but no, John Bowler doesn't give way. That's good defensive work by John Bowler through Nelson. He's held his lead. Here comes Jenkins again at the bomb hole. He won't get through there. He might have a chance at Coram if he can keep up with the 14, but it's getting slippery out there now. Michael Oliver knows that. Clear of Craig Reed in 3rd place, then it's Stuart Oliver, I think, now up to 4th. He's ahead of Simon Reed. Here they come into the left-hander. See who's in 3rd place. Which of the Reeds was it who got taken out? They're identical, those 2 trucks. I think it was Craig, wasn't it, who got tagged by Mike Oliver. We'll see as they come up over the line. Here comes David Jenkins, though. We concentrate on the 2 leaders. He moves across to the outside. Across the stripe they go. Here's Simon Reed in 3rd place. 4th is Stuart Oliver. Ryan Smith up to 5th. Then Bradley Smith, Stephen Powell and Tom O'Rourke in 8th place. So the 2 Division 2 leaders now in the top 10. No, they're not, because Ricky Collins up into the top 10. He's got some damage on the front of his truck, dragging the front bumper there. As John Bowler defends his leads a little bit sideways. It is a little slippy on the run into the hairpin. You can see there he got the rear end slightly sideways. And here comes David Jenkins, the man from Stafford, all over the back of him in the digraph. Morris Lubricants MAN. Absolutely nose to tail. David Jenkins, can he finally take his first win of the 2023 British Truck Racing Championship? Bowler defending, Jenkins weaving about all over the place. Up the inside, he's got the inside line for Agostini. Can he get the truck stopped in time? He forces his way down the inside. He did this to Craig Reed earlier, takes the lead, coming out of Agostini. For the first time this year, really, that David Jenkins has established himself properly at the front of a race. See the conditions worsening, the wiper going on the 69 truck. And now we'll wait to see everybody else start to move up on them. There's our Division 2 leader, Paul Rivett. He's got Craig Evans still on his tail. Craig yet to win in Division 2. Adam Vince in 3rd place in the Volvo. This is great stuff in these tricky conditions here at Snetterton. Ryan Smith closing on Stuart Oliver. These 2 deadly rivals battling for 4th place. 17 championships between them. There's Craig Reed in the background. He's still going. He's down to 13th place after that tangle with Michael Oliver. Michael out of the race. John Bowler's closed back up again on David Jenkins, rather, as they come through Brundle and Nelson. Simon Reed's closing up as well. And then we've got these 2, Oliver and Smith. Bradley Smith behind them in P6. This race sets the grid for race 5 at the end of the day. The top 8 reversed. Who's 8th at the moment? It's Tom O'Rourke. He'll be on pole for the last race if it stays like this, with Stephen Powell alongside him. There's O'Rourke. Ricky Collins closing on him. That bumper's come off, so he won't risk a black and orange flag for loose bodywork. Up over the line they go. David Jenkins still leads, Stuart Oliver defending. You can see the red and yellow striped flag being hung out by the marshals briefly there. That means slippery surface, just to warn the drivers to take it easy. Into Richards, Oliver and Smith, 4th and 5th. See the rain starting to come down now on our cameras. It's getting trickier out there. Still just under 7 minutes this race to go, so we're just past half distance. Into the hairpin. Oliver holds that 4th place. David Jenkins leads, but it's Simon Reed who's done the fastest lap of the race. Of course, the 2 ahead of him is squabbling on that last lap, so Reed's done a 2:26.191, and he's close to within about 1.5 seconds of the 2 leaders. There is the red Iveco in 3rd place. Behind them, Ryan Smith going for 4th. Tax, Stuart Oliver, the crowd's cheering them on. See the red and yellow striped lights supporting the flags there on the LED boards as well. Great innovation they are here at Snetterton. Just a warn of the slippery conditions. It's definitely worsening out there as Ryan Smith continues to have a go at the number 7. Timing screen confirming Michael Oliver out of the race. Here's Division 2. Still Rivets from Evans to MANs. They're keeping The Division 1 battle in their sights here. Ryan Smith closing right up on Stuart Oliver, might have a go as they come down the Bentley straight this time. David Jenkins leads. Magnificent sight these trucks make wherever they race, so imposing on any circuit. Under the bridge, Stuart Oliver defends. Man from Hexham in Northumberland. He's been there, seen it, done it and won it in truck racing in Britain and beyond. I believe he even raced out in India in the MRF Tyres series a few years ago, if memory serves me right. Ryan Smith all over the back of him. In the Northside Truck and Van and Daimler Freight, run by Worldwide Truck Racing. Bradley Smith, Stephen Powell, 6th and 7th. You can see them sliding now as they come off Murray's. There's our Division 2 leader, the Napa Parts MAN of Paul Rivett. He's pulled away a bit from Craig Evans now. There's Adam Bint in third. He was the pioneer of HVO fuel in the championship last season in the older Volvo. We're into Murray's corner. Used to be known as Russell after Jim Russell of Racing School fame. Now named Murray's in honour of, in memory of the late great Murray Walker. Division 2 fairly spaced out now, these three. Further back behind them, Craig Reed's still going. So is Neil Yates, so is Cole Bennett, and John Powell has joined the race, I can tell you. He's at the back of the field, a long way behind. Here's the battle for fourth through Palmer's, named after Dr. Jonathan Palmer, the owner of Motorsport Vision, who own and operate this circuit and several others. A Formula 1 driver. Now Ryan Smith, has he got a run on the inside? No, he hasn't, into Agostini. Named after Giacomo Agostini, the all-time greats of motorcycle racing. Still Ryan Smith can't make his way through. Stuart Oliver. Deadly rivals, these two. Anyone is a deadly rival of Ryan Smith after his dominance of the last few years. Has a look on the inside. He could have a run here at Oggies into Williams. No. Oliver takes the line. Ryan Smith said in an interview yesterday that he reckons the man behind these two, Bradley Smith, is the next big thing in British truck racing. There he is in his MAN. Side by side now for fourth place. First three have gone through, still David Jenkins with the lead. 3 minutes of the race to go. And Stuart Oliver still holding that inside line. Fastest lap of the race still with Simon Reed, 2:26.160. Still Stuart Oliver hanging on for dear life. He's having to use all his experience here to hold Ryan Smith back. We're on board with Ryan. Bit of muck on the camera lens, but you can see the number 7 truck ahead of him. Through Murray's, it's still Jenkins from John Bowler. What a great drive this is by John Bowler. His first season in Division 1. He had a win in that short race at Thruxton. Oh, Craig Reed with some damage there. He's missing a tyre off the back axle. That'll be where Michael Oliver hit him earlier on. Side by side over the... and the checkered flag has come out early, in fact. So the checkered flag came out early. We didn't see it there because we were watching Craig Reed, but the race has come to an early conclusion there, a couple of laps from home. The win has gone to David Jenkins, his first win of the season. I wonder why the air horn's going off there. So David Jenkins has won it. And Paul Rivett wins Division 2, so catching me a bit off guard there, apologies there. David Jenkins takes the win ahead of John Bowler. What a great result for him in second, but David Jenkins at last takes his first win of the 2023 British Truck Racing Championship season. John Bowler in second, Simon Reed third, he gets the point for fastest lap. Stuart Oliver did manage to hold off Ryan Smith for fourth place. The last few finishers come in. There's Simon Cole. He's fourth in Division 2, which is won by Paul Rivett, ahead of Craig Evans and Adam Bint. So that'll possibly harm Adam's championship chances a little. Paul Rivett closing the gap all the time. Craig Reed comes across the line, missing that tyre after that collision with Michael Oliver. Jim Bennett comes across the line. The final finisher further back will be John Powell. So recovery in attendance, you can see in the background for Michael Oliver's truck, but the result confirmed David Jenkins the winner by just over 2 seconds ahead of John Bowler. Excellent drive by both of them. Simon Reed completes the podium, and then Stuart Oliver holding off Ryan Smith for 4th place. Bradley Smith in 6th ahead of Stephen Powell, and Ricky Collett got past Tom O'Rourke. Ricky will have pole position for race 5 later on. Tom O'Rourke in 9th, Paul Rivette in 10th, wins Division 2. And he finished ahead of Craig Evans by just over 1.5 seconds. Adam Binks was next home in 12th overall. Neil Yates, a good result in 13th ahead of Simon Cole, Craig Reed, Jim Bennett, John Powell completing the finishers. The only retirement, Michael Oliver, after that incident, when he tangled with Craig Reed. We'll hand down to Pointy in a moment in Parc Fermé.
Oh, wow. Here with Dave Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, sir, we spoke a couple of times yesterday, didn't we? And each time you said you were looking for something. Let's be honest, you can't get better than 1st place. I think you found it, sir.
Yeah, no, great start to the day. The boys worked hard with me overnight, just left me alone to do some thinking, and they've done some spannering, and we've done a great job this morning.
Absolutely incredible. You did a great job out there as well. I mean, we saw the restart. Obviously, that mixed things up a little bit. You know, obviously, luckily, you didn't get tussled up in that early damage of Ricky Collett spinning off into Ryan Smith. I thought he was race was over then.
Yeah, no, I heard about it all going on behind. Fortunately, I didn't see it. So, no, really, really pleased, and you know, it's just great to be back here on the top step. We do deserve it. We work really hard, and thanks so much to my sponsors and my family, Morris Lubricants, Digraph, and my long-suffering team and family, and a special thanks to the boys and girls at home watching.
In fact, indeed, and there are literally hundreds, so you'll be pleased to know that that is well and truly recorded for you today. Congratulations, Dave, fantastic effort. And again, Dave, fantastic chap, always the first to mention how hard his team work and the amount of effort that goes on behind the scenes. Now let's find, if we can, over here, John Bowler. Quick lens clean there, because we don't want water on the lens, ladies and gentlemen. We want to be able to see me as clear as possible. Where is he? Probably still in his truck. The engine goes off. And here he is, 2 generations of Bowler in the cab with a fantastic result. You promised everybody a trophy today, and you delivered. Who's this young man here?
This is Memphis, my little lad.
Hello, Memphis.
Say hiya.
Hiya. Mate, how was that? You battled all the way through there. I mean, you did so well, over half a race before we lost that 1st position to Dave Jenkins, but you were on him the whole way. You weren't backing up.
No, that's right. So we had a bit of an issue with the brake temps, but yeah, no, really good race. Good battle with Dave. Yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah.
You're having trouble with your helmet, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it on top.
Yeah, just don't move and everything will be fine.
It, yeah,
so what did you find last night? I mean, because you were up reasonably late last night. So what was there something in those hot and spicy chicken nuggets that Graham Poole was serving up at 1 o'clock?
That's it. 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock, so half 9 after we'd gone to bed.
That's it. Yeah, we've got to keep you fed, haven't we?
Yeah, this is it. Oh, well, John, fantastic, well done, and a trophy for the little one as well. Won't be giving that away to anyone else's kids. Thumbs up. Say good job, Dad.
Good job, Dad.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah, that's one for the memory books. Absolutely fantastic. Don't know why he's parked all the way over here, though. He's blooming miles away. Tell you what, though, he's going to want to walk sideways now because the rain is coming down. Massive tussle. Stuart Oliver, Paul Rivette. That's 7 races in a row now, I believe. Absolutely incredible effort. I can see him get a shot of this. The man himself walking down through the trucks here in Parc Fermé. It's such a beautiful shot as well. How are we doing, sir? Well done. Have you got to run off, or have you got a sec? You're not going anywhere.
I'm just going to try and
ask these people just in case.
The rain for a little bit.
No,
but
no.
for you and
You're
the TV
already
point,
sweaty. It doesn't matter. Right, you're damp of the head regardless. So the rain will do nothing different. We are making a habit of this now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going really well at the moment. You know, we just need to keep up. It's not easy, obviously. You know, the others are hot on our heels, but yeah, we're heading for that clean sweep at the moment. But look, this is, you know, British truck racing. Anything can happen out there.
Indeed, as we saw, yeah.
The Napa truck is in one piece completely, and it's one of the few that I think is from that race. But it could just as easily go the other way.
And this is it, yeah. I mean, further back we've seen huge damage on John Powell somehow. I don't know what the coming together was in that first part of the lap.
They were 3 wide off the start. I think it was Bennett and then Evans in the middle and John on the left, and they all just squeezed together a little bit, and and it resulted in John getting turned around, and his truck bounced up in the air and went round.
Oh wow.
And I couldn't see a thing for smoke in front of me, so I pretty much just stopped on the start finish line behind him.
I'm not going through that.
But, yeah.
Oh my goodness, you got to see the whole thing as well.
Yeah.
Oh my
that
goodness.
looked good on the onboard when we have a look back in a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to see you
you
share
seen this
that
trailer?
footage. Right.
If you have, take a photo when safe and then send it to us. All for a chance to win one of our 5 miniature truck and trailers.
Repairing or maintaining commercial vehicles, you need total care. Whether you're fitting out a new workshop, bringing your vehicle maintenance in-house, or thinking of an upgrade, our equipment experts will make the process simple. And with UK-wide service engineer coverage and flexible finance options, you can be sure that for workshop equipment, it's total care.
Well, not quite the straightforward race we were hoping for, with loads of contact there in the first lap of race 3. Let's have another go, shall we, in race 4 and see if we can't get a nice bundle of results.
This will be another 15-minute race for the British Truck Racing Championship here at Snetterton. So a reminder of the grid. Michael Oliver in pole position, the truck repaired by Team Oliver after a collision with Craig Reed earlier on. Alongside him, Stephen Powell in number 3. Second row, Tom O'Rourke and John Bowler. Can he go one better than earlier? David Jenkins on row 3, looking for his second win of the day alongside Simon Reed. Stuart Oliver and Ryan Smith on row 4. Then Ricky Collins and Neil Yates completing the top 5 rows, although I suspect we'll see Neil start from the back. Behind them on the grid, we will have Bradley Smith and Craig Reed. They failed to finish race 2 yesterday, so watch for Bradley coming through in particular. And then in Division 2, we've got Jim Bennett and Simon Cole, Craig Evans and Adam Bintz, Paul Rivett and John Powell. Now, according to my grid sheet, John Powell's off from the front because he didn't finish race 2 in Division 2 yesterday, so he should be at the front of the grid. We'll wait and see if he's there for this 15-minute race. There's Michael Oliver on pole. Ryan Smith in behind his big rival of the last few years, David Jenkins. Well, as I said earlier, everyone is a big rival to Ryan Smith. Jim Bennett on the front of the grid there. There's Ricky Collett just making his way through, a bit late out of the assembly area. Yes, there is John Powell. He is there at the back of Division 2. So my grid sheet must be incorrect. Yeah, he's at the back of Division 2, so He must have not finished. Yes, he didn't finish yesterday's race, so he does move to the back. So Neil Yates at the back of everybody. The graphic was correct. It's my grid sheet that's incorrect there. Apologies for the confusion there. Not sure why Pointy said we were 50 minutes late, because at this moment in time we are not. I don't want to say any more than that to jinx it. I think Pointy was reading yesterday's timetable. On board with Ryan Smith, looking out over the bonnet of the Daimler Freightliner. So riding on board with John Bowler. Thanks to Chris Clark for sorting our onboard cameras this weekend. And Richard Barwick in the touring cars as well, so thank you to them. Ricky Collett at the back of Division 1 here. Simon Cole and Jim Bennett at the front of Division 2, ready to rumble with the British Truck Racing Championship Race 4 of the weekend here on the Snetterton 300 circuits. Can Ryan Smith get back to winning ways? Is Paul Rivette in the blue and yellow, number 22, going to remain unbeaten in Division 2? Adam Bint nicely placed in the number 5. Neil Yates at the back. Michael Oliver and Stephen Powell on the front row of the grid. Will we see a second win of the season for Michael Oliver, a second win of his Division 1 career for the 6-time Division 2 champion Stephen Powell? We are about to find out. Over the next 15 minutes, the Pace truck, the GT Tyres MAN, unleashes them. Waiting for the red lights to go out. Tension begins to mount. We're on board with Ryan Smith. This is certainly once again not going to be for the faint of heart at all. The power comes on, and here we go. It's the charge of the truck brigade down towards Rich's corner. Who's going to get the lead? Stephen Powell gets away well, so does Michael Oliver from pole position. Ryan Smith up on the outside. Tom O'Rourke leans on John Bowler. Smith going wide to try and get around David Jenkins, who's got the inside run on Bowler. To our right is one of the Reed brothers, couldn't tell which. It's the number 12 of Michael Oliver who has the lead. Charging up is Tom O'Rourke in third place, almost been pushed there by David Jenkins. Bowler's caught on the outside, gets it sideways, kicks up the dust. He's been sent wide by Simon Reed in the 89. Ryan Smith will get through as well in the number 1, so he's already made up at least one place as they make their way into Palmer. It's Oliver from Powell, O'Rourke, Jenkins, Reed, Smith. John Bowler's been shuffled back a bit down the order. He was stuck on the outside for the first couple of corners. Division 2 pack heads through. It's Michael Oliver who swings his way, and that's where he collided with Craig Reed in the previous race. There's Craig back in the pack. Stuart Oliver's not made the best of starts towards the back of Division 2, which is led by Simon Cole. He's made a good start in the number 41. He's your early Division 2 pace setter. Stuart Oliver makes a move on Craig Reed as they go through Hamilton. Reed a bit slow off the corner there. There's Neil Yates at the back of the field. And running wide there, Adam Bint and Paul Rivette. Two of our Division 2 contenders skate wide onto the dirt. John Powell's going for the class lead. Now he started from the back. He's already into the lead of Division 2. Adam Bint's all over the place. He's sliding everywhere. Has he got a tyre going down or something, I wonder? Simon Cole's been shuffled back a bit. So is Craig Reed and Ricky Collett. Craig Reed, is he still suffering from a bit of damage from that collision earlier on? Because he's dropped to the back of Division 1 already. Michael Oliver leads from Stephen Powell. David Jenkins is up into third. Then it's Tom O'Rourke and Simon Reed. Ryan Smith has made up a couple of places already, and Jim Bennett in problems, the number 28. Is he pulling over there? No, he's rejoining. So something's happened in Division 2. I don't know whether there's some fluid on the track at Hamilton, but everybody seemed to slide wide. Michael Oliver's got the lead in the number 12 by quite a clear margin at the moment as well. There's Bradley Smith. Not a lot of progress from him yet from the back of Division 1. There's the battle for the Division 2 lead. John Powell ahead of Adam Bint. Third is Simon Cole. Then Paul Rivette looking to keep up his unbeaten run. Then Craig Evans, and Craig Reed's in trouble again. He's slow to the back of Division 2. I suspect that 68 is heading for the pits again. Make their way out towards the conclusion of lap number 1. Michael Oliver leads by 1 second ahead of Stephen Powell. Wait to see if Craig Reed does pull into the pits here, the number 68. He's dropped right back to the tail of the Division 2 trucks. Yes, he's coming into the pits, so Craig Reed in trouble. As Tom O'Rourke holding off Simon Reed for 4th place. First 3 have got away slightly. Oliver, Powell and Jenkins are on board with Ryan Smith in P6. Chasing now Simon Reed out of Palmer. Still a bit of fluid on the camera lens there. I don't know whether that's rain or just a bit of water being kicked up by the trucks. At the outside of Simon Reed. I don't think he's going to get round there at Agostini. Trying to get the cut back on the exit. Ahead of them there is Tom O'Rourke, running well in the MV Commercial MAN, the Scotsman. Now Smith gets the, that cutback did work at Agostini. Up the inside at Hamilton, a deceptively tight left-hander, and he's through into P5. Next target is Tom O'Rourke. See the steam coming off David Jenkins' truck there. I would imagine that's from the water-cooled braking system. Chasing Stephen Powell. Now Ryan Smith getting into position to attack the MV Commercial and Freyhouse Trailers MAN of Tom O'Rourke. Had a win at Donington a couple of years ago, the Scotsman. Never been to a truck race until MV Commercial had a display at Convoy in the Park a few years ago. Tom ended up sponsoring the British Championship and subsequently competing in it. Stephen Powell going well, holding that 2nd place, the Brands Hatch local. And Ryan Smith having a go at Tom O'Rourke. What's their contact there through Nelson? I'm not sure, but he's got through. And now Simon Reed's going to try and go through as well at the bomb hole. Tricky to fit 2 trucks through there side by side. And they managed it. And Reed goes through into P5. There's John Bowler back in 7th place. No need to look at who finishes 8th here because this race doesn't set the grid for anything else. Simon Reed trying to go round the outside of Murray's. That's never going to work. No, it isn't. Says, oh, what's happened to Stephen Powell? He's got wide. He was nearly heading into the pit lane there. He's lost 2nd place to David Jenkins coming out of Murray's there. So Ryan Smith up to 4th now. Can he hunt down our top 3? Wait for Division 2 to come through. It should be John Powell still at the head of their pack. Yes, there he is, the blue and red DAF. Length of the Senna Straits behind Ricky Collins almost now. This is the battle for 2nd. There's Paul Rivette on the outside of Adam Bint. Craig Evans tucked in behind them. They've dropped Simon Cole. And Bint holding the inside here, going into Riches. The Volvo and the MAN together. And here comes Craig Evans. Look at this, diving up the inside. It's a brave move by Craig Evans, the number 10. Terrific fight here for 2nd in Division 2. Paul Rivette's unbeaten run could be under threat here. To the inside goes Evans. He'll take the place away on the hairpin. Nicely done by Craig Evans in the number 10, but they're losing time all the time to John Powell. Leads the group by over 2.5 seconds. There he is. DAF, Volvo, MAN. It's an MAN that leads overall. Michael Oliver. MAN trucks in the top 3 places in Division 1 ahead of Ryan Smith in the Daimler. Simon Reed, the first of the Avicos. Adam Bint back up the inside, retakes 2nd in Division 2 from Craig Evans into the left-hander at Agostini. Slippery surface flag I notice out there, so maybe there was some fluid down at Hamilton, I was right. Now here comes David Jenkins. He's getting ready to attack race leader Michael Oliver. He wants a 2nd win. Wants to close the gap on Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver at the top of the championship. Nearest challenger to them is Bradley Smith. He's further back in 9th. Ryan Smith is now up into P3. He's got ahead of Stephen Powell as a result of Powell losing that momentum after running wide out of Murray's last time through. Tom O'Rourke under fire from John Bowler, the 2 MANs together. Stuart Oliver in behind them. He's had a quiet race so far, Stuart Oliver, stuck in the midfield. Not the easiest circuit to overtake on is Snetterton in a truck. Doesn't bother Ryan Smith though. Chasing now David Jenkins, and in turn is closing on Michael Oliver. Here's the battle in Division 2. Lead gap is half a second. New fastest lap for David Jenkins, and Bint makes a bit of a mistake there at the bomb hole. We saw the truck snap sideways briefly. Craig Evans trying to retake him. Simon Cole sideways there as well. He always does through the bomb hole. Neil Yates next in the order, then Jim Bennett. Craig Reed out of the race, sadly. Here comes Jenkins on the outside for the hairpin. He's trying to do the cutback. He'll be watching Ryan Smith in his mirrors earlier on, I think. Up towards Palmer. Is he going to make a move there? No, there won't be room on the inside for Palmer, surely, of Michael Oliver. Oliver Jr. still holds the lead. He's got Jenkins and Ryan Smith closing him down now. Up towards the left-hander at Agostini. Saw Jenkins take the lead here earlier on from Reed. Craig Evans on the outside of the hairpin. That's going to allow Paul Rivette to attack. These three almost on top of each other. Remarkable in Division 2. Michael Oliver leads through Hamilton. Jenkins going to have to think about Ryan Smith being on his tail shortly as well. We're with him. He's 7-time champion. His truck's, of course, electronically limited to 100 miles an hour. We'll certainly be doing 100 miles an hour down the Bentley Straights coming up. Vince in second, Division 2, and Paul Rivette has got through for third, ahead of Craig Evans. Now they're going to start to go after John Bowler in the number 6. It's had a disappointing weekend so far. Craig Evans, I think, is slowing down there. I think Evans might be in trouble. Been sideways again, he always does that. Well, that truck isn't handling too well in this one anyway. It's been sliding all over the place since the race started. Yeah, they've definitely dropped... well, Paul Rivette isn't going to gain any traction there, cutting onto the grass at Oggies. Be picking for track limits if he does that too often. There are the leaders in Division 1. Simon Reed now ahead of Stephen Powell up into P4 as well. Must have done that on the Bentley Straight, I think. Ryan Smith to the outside on David Jenkins. No, you don't, says Jenks. Yes, I do, says Ryan Smith. No, you don't, says David Jenkins back again. OK, I'll go to the outside down the centre straight, says Ryan Smith, and I'll overtake you here. Still side by side. Can he get the move done before the end of the straight? I don't think he's going to. David Jenkins hangs on to the place. This is allowing Michael Oliver to escape again at the front of the field. Out to the hairpin. Can he get the inside line away here? He's thinking about it, Ryan Smith. No, I think it's better off. He's not close enough. Through the Wilson hairpin. No longer with the scary tree on the outside. That's has sadly disappeared now. Adam Bint leading on Paul Rivette. Excuse me, says Adam Bint. No, I won't, says Paul Rivette. I thought they were going to hit the pit wall then. That was close. Looking not to burst a tyre there with that contact on the front of Rivette's truck. Goodness me. Back on board with Ryan Smith. He still hasn't got alongside David Jenkins. They're keeping Michael Oliver in their sights as well. 4 minutes of this race to go. This is great stuff. Paul Rivette up towards the hairpin. He's still going. He's still ahead of Adam Bint, who lunges down the inside. Well, I thought that was going to end in disaster, but thankfully cooler heads prevailed. Oh, the leader's gone wide. Michael Oliver onto the grass, and at the same time, Ryan Smith on the inside. Yeah, it's getting slippery out there again on that part of the circuit through the infield loop, because Smith is now in second place, and surely it's only a matter of time before he passes Michael Oliver. Oliver's lost momentum as a result of running wide there. Ryan Smith goes to the right. Michael Oliver says, "Oh no, you're not." Squeezes him towards the grass, moves back across. And this is like the Caterhams that were here a few weeks ago, weaving about like this. Smith's got P2. Michael Oliver's having none of him trying to take the lead. 3 minutes left. It's brilliant stuff for the lead of Division 1. Division 2 is still led by John Powell because everybody else is too busy squabbling with each other for second place. Through the bomb hole. Smith will try at Coram. He won't get through there. Simon Reed on his own in fourth. He's pulled away from Stephen Powell now. Tom O'Rourke still sixth ahead of Stuart Oliver. This is the battle further back. There's John Bowler in P8. Bradley Smith in P9. A quiet race for Bradley and for Stuart Oliver this time. It's all about these three in Division 1. I think it's going to be last lap this time. Can they get past Michael Oliver? Over the line they go. Black and white flag being shown for Paul Rivette for exceeding track limits. He gets a warning. We saw him cut a corner a bit earlier on at Oggies. That'll be why. There's Craig Evans. He's closing back up on Adam Bint now. Paul Rivette has dropped these two. into the hairpin for what I think will be the last time. Ryan Smith won't get the inside line away there. It's a great defensive drive by Michael Oliver. Is Ryan Smith going to make it 3 for the weekend? Can he take win number 14 of the season? David Jenkins is in position to capitalise if these two should tangle. They are loving this, these three. Up the outside comes Ryan Smith. He leans on Michael Oliver. He's alongside down the straight. They clash wheels together. Oh, it's like Ayrton Senna and Nigel Mansell in that Spanish Grand Prix all those years ago in the 90s. And Michael Oliver continues to hold the lead. Here comes Jenkins now getting aboard. It's like a 12-wheel truck heading up towards Hamilton. Michael Oliver's got to be so careful on the brakes. He holds it together in the GT tyres MAN. Up to Oggies. Ryan Smith right on his bumper now. Ryan's getting impatient here. He knows this is probably the last lap. Oh, he gives him the bumper. That was more like stock car racing than truck racing from Ryan Smith. He'll try again onto the Bentley straight. He pulls alongside again. Michael Oliver leaves him no room at all. Smith's on the grass. They're still side by side. David Jenkins could get both of them here. They're never going to go 3 wide into Brundle. That's never going to work in trucks. Jenkins thinks better of it. Oliver's got the inside for Brundle, but Smith will have the inside for Nelson. Can he get the truck stopped in time? They both go out wide. Smith's got it. Goodness me. And Jenkins is going to go through as well. Michael Oliver frustrated there. You can see it as Smith clears off into the lead. But was he too far over on the grass as he took the lead there? A controversial move from Ryan Smith. Reed 4th, Powell there in 5th place. But here they come then. There's 13 seconds on the clock now. Will they get one more lap? We'll wait and see if the checkered flag goes out this time. It's going to be close as they come to the line on whether they're going to get another lap in. Here they come. There's no checkered flag. We are going to get one more lap. The clock counted down to 0. Yeah, he was 1 second too early, Ryan Smith, as he crossed the line. So we will get one more lap out of this. This is Division 2, and Paul Rivette will be welcoming not seeing the checkered flag, because he's got another lap to try and get past John Powell and make it 4 out of 4. Goodness me. Going round to start the final lap in Division 2 then. Here comes Paul Rivette. He has a look down the straight. They move towards the pit wall. There's some real needle in this race. Certainly the most action-packed truck race we've had so far this weekend at Snetterton. Can Paul Rivette get ahead of John Powell in the DAF? The oldest truck on the grid, John Powell's DAF. Swing it through the hairpin. Rivette tries to get the cutback. Bint still holding off Evans for 3rd. See there Bradley Smith still holding off Ricky Collett as well. There's Michael Oliver still chasing David Jenkins. Ryan Smith is going clear now. It's going to be win number 3 for him this weekend. But did he take the lead on the grass down the Bentley straight? Powell holds the inside, Rivette on the outside, side by side into Agostini. We've been here before. And they lean on each other on the exit. Rivette on the grass. You're not getting past me, says John Powell. And then again, Michael Oliver been saying that most of the race to Ryan Smith. Here is Ryan through the bomb hole. It's going to be checkered flag this time. It's coming up on Jim Bennett. He always seems to meet Jim Bennett on the last corner of every race. And it happened twice yesterday. Paul Rivette tries again, bash into the side of John Powell briefly there. Smith's got past Bennett, Seth Atkinson. And here he comes up to the line. Win number 3 for Ryan Smith this weekend at Snetterton. It's going to be win number 14 for the season. Extends his championship lead. Flying Ryan wins it again. Jenkins in 2nd. And Michael Oliver only just holding back Simon Reed for 3rd. Meanwhile, what about Division 2? Can John Powell hang on? Disappointing weekend so far. Can he end Paul Rivette's unbeaten run here at Snetterton? Rivette trying. He's really trying. You can see a little chunk bitten out of his front bumper. He throws it sideways through the bomb hole. What can he do? Into Murray's for the last time. Adam Binns holding off Craig Evans. He's on the bumper there as they come through towards the left at Murray's, onto the brakes. Can John Powell hold it as they come down the straight? Has the MAN got more power? They're going to be side by side surely by the finish line. It's a long run up towards the line here at Snetterton. John Powell's going to have to move to defend, I think. Rivet up the outside. They're going to finish side by side. It's a photo finish. Who gets there? We'll go to the timing screen. John Powell got it by 0.023 of a second. What a superb race. John Powell picks up his first Division 2 win of the weekend by 23 1/1000ths of a second. And well, that race at the front with Division 1, that was brutal. The red flag comes out to bring the trucks into Parc Fermé. It's going to be an interesting Parc Fermé, and hopefully we can hear from all the top three down there, Smith, Jenkins and Michael Oliver. That was a brilliant defensive drive for most of the way there. Ryan Smith using some tough tactics to get past. He wins by just under 3 seconds ahead of David Jenkins. Smith gets the fastest lap as well. Michael Oliver in third ahead of Simon Reed. And Stephen Powell, Stuart Oliver, Tom O'Rourke, John Bowler, Bradley Smith and Ricky Collick completing the top 10 Division 1. John Powell just beat Paul Rivet in a photo finish for the Division 2 win. His unbeaten run comes to an end. Then Adam Binns holding off Craig Evans all the way. The other finishers, Simon Cole, Neil Yates and Jim Bennett. We lost Craig Reed into retirement on the first lap. Well, it's a good job the lunch break is coming up next. I'm out of breath after that superb race for the trucks. Coming up after lunch, we have three more races. Classic touring cars, Brick Car Trophy and more trucks. Let's head down to Pointy while I get my breath back.
Wow, what a turnaround of results there. Let's be vigilant with the amount of drivers messing around here. Dave Jenkins coming in to shake hands with none other than Michael Oliver. We'll just let Steve Powell come round. Come round, John, come round. There we go. Harried Lake. Oh, I mean, it was literally, I think, second to last lap, wasn't it? You held on the entire way, but then it was like, oh, just those two. But I tell you what, still third place, first podium of the weekend, and after the trouble you had in the previous race, getting knocked about the way you did, what a fantastic result to come back to.
Oh, I tell you, if only it wasn't a contact sport, I'd have been flipping, I'd have won that race, you know. But people do what they want, don't they? But
well, these things happen. These things happen. But what a great way to continue the day. The sunshine's coming back out. I'm getting sweaty in my waterproof.
Aye.
You're sweaty already.
It's a bit sweaty, aye.
It's a bit sweaty. It's a bit warm. It's a bit warm.
Bit warm, aye. That must have been quite entertaining. It looked funny from where I was.
Oh man, it was. We were all on the edge of our seats. I mean, the three of you were so close for so long. We were like, are they even going to finish? Is it going to be any three of them on the podium by the time we get round?
I thought that.
Yeah, I bet you did. You having more experience of that than most drivers, unfortunately. But no, obviously, fantastic news. Massive congratulations. Well deserved, I think.
No, cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
It's brilliant.
I'll get first in the next one. I'll start from the back. I'll have to get
start from the back. You've got to come all the way through the next one. Yeah. So it's reverse grid and you're at the back again.
No, I didn't finish that first race, so I'm right at the back.
Oh, right, the back.
Oh, back.
Like a proper back, cheek tickets outside back.
Yeah. It's going to be spectacular when I win the next one.
Oh, massively spectacular. Like, literally, coming from behind surprises everyone.
Was that a sexual pun?
No comment. Thank you, Mike. You can't trust these guys. I tell you what. My goodness. Right, who have we got? So, let's get Chris. Let's talk to Chris. Chris, come here, mate. Come here, mate.
Sorry, busy.
Oh, right. Let's speak to Simon. Adam's busy. There he is. Let's come round to Simon. Let's have a quick chat to you. Oh, quickly before we do, over here we're taking fuel samples This, of course, since we've got a fuel sponsor for the sport, very important now to take fuel samples randomly through the weekend, just to make sure that we are all running on the biodiesel promised by the sport to, well, the masses. Oh yeah, look at that. That's just beauty, that is. Just beauty. You can really tell though, can't you? It's so much clearer than actual diesel. Blimey. Right, enough of the science lesson. Let's go speak to Simon Reed. Oh, looks like we've had that a few years before. Can you see that? Look, we've definitely smashed these speakers at some point in the past.
You need to tell them they're pulling it out the wrong tank.
They're pulling it out the wrong tank. Yeah, you know that's the coolant, right? It's just got tap water in there at the moment.
It's not coolant.
It's neat vodka.
Yeah.
Oh dear! I'll tell you, it was a tussle. You were gaining on Michael, and we're thinking, are you going to make a lunge for it that last lap?
Yeah, I was on for it. Obviously, I closed him up on the last long corner in. And then I think he panicked a little bit, and I decided to drop it in top gear a little bit earlier than I would usually do, and it just broke loose. And the split second I needed to just get up the side of him at least, I lost, and so he was in the same position. So we were both fighting to which truck would grip first. And basically. But no, hat off to him and hat off to Ryan. He managed to slip through, and obviously there's something gone down on the track. I don't know what it is. It's bad in really bad in three corners before it burnt off.
Yeah.
And anyway, I went straight into the corner, and it just took me on, and he was nibbed up the inside of me, and I was like, right then, okay.
Do you reckon one more lap might have made a difference to that podium?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, then you start putting the pressure on a bit more and homing in. You know, once you're on, you know, you can't. You've got to be able to. You've got to be on the back bumper because it is so close racing. You've got to be on the back bumper, ready for the launch. It's not, you know, you can't just think you're going to do it from, you know, 10 metres away. It just doesn't work because everybody's bloody, you know.
Yeah. Those 10 metres is a long time to catch up, isn't it?
Yeah,
They've got to make a 10-metre mistake for you to get there.
Yeah, so it's taking like a lap or two to then get homed on and just keep nibbing. Eventually getting yourself in a position where you can go for the lunge. But,
maybe the wrong hand gesture for the lunge.
Well, you know.
Oh, good. Well, very good race. Very enjoyable for everybody at home. And what's this weather doing, hey? We had drizzle.
Yeah, I was getting my brother's, he's down on a bit of power,
came off, didn't it? I mean, we heard on the Marshalls radio that he was dropping some kind of fluid.
Yeah, well, it might be him then. Might be him, but...
Simon, where'd you finish, mate?
Almost third.
You're almost third. That's where I finished though.
You were almost second.
I was.
I was almost third. You were almost second.
No, good race.
Yeah.
Good race.
But you were behind us though.
Yeah. So you were third place in the end. He was first loser.
Yeah.
If we started from me, I was first, he was second.
We needed a 16-minute race, not a 15-minute one.
That's all it was.
I just wanted you close to us.
No.
I just wanted you close to us, mate. That's why I slowed down.
It was good, and I thought coming out that last corner, we both lost the grip up, and I was ready to just pull down, and mine slipped up.
You know what it is?
And we were both just.
You came around that last one, and we were coming to the last corner. I thought, I must not mess this up.
Yeah.
So I was really slowing.
Yeah.
There's my gear.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And just get it teed in, and I was doing just the same, mate.
Oh my
goodness
me.
Good race.
Well, it certainly seems like spirits are high. John's literally as far back as he can go. John's as far back as he can go with a fence behind him, so we apologise if that angle was more close than you'd usually appreciate to get to Simon Reed's face, but I enjoyed getting that close to Simon Reed's face, so thanks for talking to us, Simon. Good job, mate.
If you have, take a photo when safe and then send it to us. All for a chance to win one of our 5 miniature truck and trailers.
Repairing or maintaining commercial vehicles, you need Total Care. Whether you're fitting out a new workshop, bringing your vehicle maintenance in-house, or thinking of an upgrade, our equipment experts will make the process simple. And with UK-wide service engineer coverage and flexible finance options, you can be sure that for workshop equipment, it's Total Care.
Great result from Michael Oliver there in race 4, heading now for the last race of the weekend. Can he get another podium finish? Let's find out in race 5.
Our final race of the weekend, the truck's out of the assembly area and onto track ready for our final race of the weekend. Race 5 of the British Truck Racing Championship here at Snetterton. The grid reads like this. It's Ricky Collins in pole position in the number 95 MAN alongside Stephen Powell. Second row Bradley and Ryan Smith. Ryan will start as the favourite from there, I'm sure. Row 3, Stuart Oliver and Simon Reed. Then on row 4, John Bowler and earlier winner David Jenkins. The reverse of race 3, the top 8 from race 3 results set the grid for this one. Completing the top 10, Tom O'Rourke and Neil Yates, although Neil will start from the back as a newcomer. And then we've got Craig Reed and Michael Oliver. Hopefully Craig is there after his problems earlier on. Then there's a gap, we've got Division 2. John Powell starts at the front of Division 2 in the DAF alongside Jim Bennett. Simon Cole and Adam Bintz, and Craig Evans and Paul Rivett round out the grid. 15 minutes to come then. It's a bit slippery out there, still a few drops of rain falling. TRP pace truck leading them round. Ricky Collins, the man from Yorkshire, over 30 years of truck racing experience. Longest serving driver on the grid here this weekend, along with Stuart Oliver. Paul McCumsky is another long-serving driver. We see him out occasionally in his Volvo, although he has just sold that truck. I believe it's been bought by Simon Cole's team. We'll hopefully see that out again next year. There's John Powell. We ride on board with the number 41 of Simon Cole in the Iveco. Jim Bennett ahead of us. Final 15 minutes of racing, then let's hope the rain stays away for this one. Can anyone stop Ryan Smith making it 4 wins out of 5 this weekend? We shall see. Paul Rivett going for 4 wins in Division 2 as well, as he continues to take the fight to John Powell and Adam Bintz for the title there, but surely no one can stop Ryan Smith from marching to an 8th consecutive Division 1 title now. TRP pace truck moves into pit lane. And here we go. The revs are up. Red lights are on. Final truck action of the weekend here at Snetterton gets underway now. Power comes on and they're away. Good start by Stephen Powell from the outside of the front row. The number 3, John Powell, leads away in Division 2. What's going to happen as they get into the first corner at Ridges? Bradley Smith still on the inside. John Bowler has a look up the inside. They're all just about going to make it round in Division 1. Division 2 behind them. Good start by John Powell. Good start by Simon Cole as well. Tom O'Rourke getting a bit sideways in the 86. We ride on board with Simon Cole away in second place in Division 2. Ricky Collins, I think, Stephen Powell, sorry, has held his lead into the hairpin. The 2 yellow MANs. Ryan Smith is on their tail, snapping at the back of Ricky Collins there for second place. Side by side for 4. That's a brave move up the inside by Simon Reed on Stuart Oliver at Palmer. He gets through. Not the best of starts for Bradley Smith. He's lost a couple of places in the 46. Behind him is David Jenkins as they charge their way down towards Agostini. Stuart Oliver's in behind Simon Reed in 5th position. David Jenkins trying to make a move on Bradley Smith. John Bowler behind them, then Michael Oliver, Tom O'Rourke. John Powell leads Division 2 ahead of Cole, Bintz, Rivett, Evans. There's Neil Yates and Jim Bennett at the back. Everybody round the first few corners okay then. This final race of the weekend here at Snetterton. Dust being kicked up there by Simon Reed among others. It is Stephen Powell looking for the 2nd Division 1 win of his career. Multiple Division 2 champion. Ryan Smith getting through on the inside. Collett went wide at Oggies and Ryan Smith through into P2. Now, how long is it going to take him to catch the man from Kent? Stephen Powell ahead of him, the HGV Direct Cameramatics sponsored MAN. Not very long by the look of it as they come through towards the bridge. Ricky Collett still there in third position. The best he's had this year is a 6th place. Stephen Powell has had a few podiums, but he's yet to win this year. It's 1 win in Division 1 at Thruxton last season. Can he hold on? Bouncing off the curb there, Ricky Collett in third. Then we've got the 89 of Simon Reed in the Iveco in 4th position. Through towards Coram. Stuart Oliver in P5 ahead of David Jenkins. Bradley Smith is 7th. John Bowler 8th. Michael Oliver is 9th. They come through to complete the opening lap. Looks like we don't have Craig Reed out there, unfortunately. His truck gave up the ghost in race 4, sadly. So Ryan Smith ready to attack for the lead. Then he'll try and get alongside Stephen Powell as they come through to complete lap number 1. Will he get the move done before the turn into Riches? He won't get round the outside there, I don't think, on the turn. And the MAN will just about hold the lead on the inside. You really get the sensation of the speed there as they charge into that right-hander. But Ryan Smith's got the cutback on the exit there. He'll go for the inside into the Wilson hairpin. He's surely going to get through here. Onto the brakes they go for Wilson's. Well, that didn't take long, did it? First couple of corners of the second lap and Ryan Smith into the lead once again. Well, he's going to clear off. Well, yesterday we said he was clearing off into the sunsets. A bit more cloudy today. Ricky Collett still going well, holding that 3rd position. Third place is still the number 95 of Collett ahead of the 89 Simon Reed. 7 of Stuart Oliver. Been a little bit of a subdued day for the number 7, 10 times champion. Been a good consistent day for Simon Reed. Great shame for his brother Craig. Repeated problems this weekend and that collision with Michael Oliver, who's further back in the order in P9 at the moment. Started at the back of Division 1 this time. Stephen Powell still clear in 2nd place, looking to equal his best result of the season, 2nd at Thruxton. Here's the battle in Division 2. It's John Powell currently leading the Division 2 pack. This is Adam Bint ahead of his great rival Paul Rivette. We're on board with Simon Cole, who's behind these two, and Rivette on the inside. This is coming through towards Oggies and then Williams. Bint holds him off through the infield loop and out towards the Bentley Straight, where the speed mounts up to 100 miles an hour. Simon Cole in P4 in Division 2. Lost a couple of spots on the first lap. Down the straight they go towards the bridge. Can Paul Rivette pull ahead on the outside of Adam Bintz? Yes, he can. Big rivalry developing between these two this season. Paul Rivette, the new sensation of truck racing, moving across from saloon cars. He's pulling away from Adam Bintz in the Volvo. Behind them, Cole. Then we've got Craig Evans, the number 10. A better showing from Simon Cole here, the number 41 in the Iveco. Neil Yates behind on the Division 1 runner. Jim Bennett at the tail of the field in the Seth Atkinson. Great view here from inside the cabin, the number 41 Iveco. John Powell, though, has got a handsome lead in Division 2. Brian Smith is already nearly 2.5 seconds clear of Stephen Powell. He's just in a different class this weekend, Ryan Smith, and I'm sure if the race hadn't been checkered flag a couple of minutes early in race 3, he would have risen even higher up the order. Ricky Collett still holding that 3rd place, looking for his best results of the season so far, chased by Simon Reed. Really chased by Simon Reed. There is the hairpin right on the rear bumper. Behind them in P5, that is Stuart Oliver, holding off David Jenkins. Finally broke his duck for the season in race 3. Then behind them, Bradley Smith. Flashes of brilliance yesterday, but a quieter day today. John Bowler is 8th. Paul Rivett looking for another Division 2 victory, but he's got to catch John Powell first. They were separated by about 5.5 seconds last time over the line. Just over 8 minutes of this race to go. Despite the wet weather, the crowd sticking it out. Oh, Simon Cole's had a spin at St Oggies. Great shame for Simon. We'll try and see what happened there. He was going well up there in the top 4 in Division 2. Craig Evans was near him, so we'll wait and see if we can see what's happened there. He gets back up to speed down the Bentley straights. Under the bridge into the left at Brundle. Leaders go over the line. Lead gap is up to 4.3 seconds now. Ryan Smith is lapping nearly 2 seconds a lap quicker than everyone else. Ricky Collett still third behind Stephen Powell. There's John Powell still leading Division 2. See if we can see what happened here for Simon Cole. Didn't catch the beginning of that. Craig Evans, as we said, was near him, so whether there was contact we didn't see. Neil Yates just avoided him there as well. And then Cole sliding his way around on the grass to rejoin. Well, there's Ryan Smith heading for win number 4. Here's a battle further back. Michael Oliver's got ahead of John Bowler. That's for P8. Just done that at the hairpin. Next, try to catch Bradley Smith in the number 46, the MAN. MAN, the numerically dominant make in truck racing. A couple of Volvos out there. Got the Daimler of Ryan Smith, a few Ivecos, the DAF of John Powell. The trusty Seth Atkinson for Jim Bennett at the back of the field at the moment. Trying to catch Simon Cole after his spin. There's one of the Volvos, that's Adam Bint. Volvo White Aerodyne is the name of that truck. Of course, the Volvo White, the American Volvo, effectively. I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, Volvo Whites were very popular. The Volvo White Road Boss. What a great name for a truck that is. The late great Slim Borgen used to race those. George Allen as well, based in London. His brother Les. Mark Viner, Tim Baddeley. Quite a few other names I remember racing the old Volvo Whites. Volvo VNL there for Stuart Oliver. Looks a bit like the old Phoenix MANs. They were the same shape as that. There were plenty of those in the European Championship. The German competitors like Heinz-Werner Lenz and Gerd Körber used to favour those. The other more standard MAN, the star in them was Hans-Georg van der Marwitz, the German truck journalist. Gunter Spindler from Austria. There were the Sisus as well. Okay, Kallio and Reimer Soderman from Finland. Simon Cole slowing up in the Iveco by the look of things. Great shame for Simon, he never seems to have any luck. Just under 5 minutes of this race to go now. I think we definitely need a Stars of the Past meeting for truck racing. I noticed in our YouTube comments earlier that somebody mentioned, do they ever have American trucks raced in the championship? I remember Richard Walker used to race at Kenworth, and there was a huge Peterbilt raced in the early days of truck racing by a Dutch driver. His name escapes, but I've definitely got photographs somewhere of that truck racing at Brands Hatch. Goodness knows how it got round Druid's Hair. I think it was Ad van Coverden who had the Kenworth, the Peterbilt rather. Richard Walker's Century Oars Kenworth, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the weekend, written off at Zolder in a gigantic start line accident. Here's the battle in Division 2, meanwhile, as we move out of our nostalgia trip. John Powell being reeled in by Paul Rivett. It's got just over 3.5 minutes to attack the DAF. Ryan Smith now leads by some 6.5 seconds. He's still pulling away by over 2 seconds a lap from the rest of the field. Third in Division 2 is still Adam Bint. He's about nearly 6 seconds back now. Similar distance back to Craig Evans. Simon Cole's still going after that spin, but a long way behind. And the Division 2 drivers are catching Tom O'Rourke now in 10th place. Neil Yates is still running. So he continues to learn the sport. Still Smith, Powell, Collett, Reed and Oliver, your top 5. So no change among the leaders. There goes Ryan Smith over the line. Couple of laps to go now. Simon Reed still can't get past Ricky Collett for that third position. There's John Bowler. There's Neil Yates. It's Neil Yates' recovery based down in Kent. It was great to see some of his huge American recovery vehicles on display at Convoy in the Park at Donington. John Newell, the European truck racing driver, had some of his vintage fleet of trucks on display there as well. Let's see John racing back in the UK at Donington, contesting the FIA European Truck Racing Championship this year, as is Mark Taylor, number 81. Ricky Collett still resisting the pressure, as is John Powell for the lead of Division 2. Looking for his second win of the weekend as he keeps up his championship challenge. Here comes Simon Reed. He knows he's quicker than Ricky Collett, he just can't get the line away from him. Collett wants his first podium of the year. The best he's had this year is a 6th place. Paul Rivett, he's never going to go around the outside. It's Agostini, sure. You won't get, you struggle to do that in a car, never mind a truck, but Paul Rivett's going to have a go. Nope, goes out wide over the curb, he keeps his foot in. He keeps his foot in, he's going for it. Look at this. It's Hamilton though, John Powell gets the line, keeps the lead. Great stuff in Division 2. Less than a minute left on the clock now. It's going to be win number 4 for Ryan Smith. He's nearly 10 seconds ahead now. He's just at a 2:23.883. The next quickest lap in this race is Ricky Collett with a 2:25.6. That's how dominant Ryan Smith has been here this weekend. Still John Powell continues to hold off Paul Rivett. Fastest lap in Division 2 is with Rivett, 2:29.7. So he'll likely get the point for fastest lap. There's Adam Bint on his own in 3rd. There's Craig Evans in 4th in the MAN. We're into the last lap now. The Division 1 runners have already gone over the line. Ryan Smith has pulled away by another 2 seconds. Squeal of tyres there through the last corner. That was Adam Bint, I think. 2 Division 2 leaders still together, separated by a 1/4 of a second. Focus on the Division 2 battle for this final lap, because Division 1 already long since decided when Ryan Smith took the lead on the 2nd lap, pretty much. He has been so dominant this weekend. Paul Rivett up the outside into the hairpin. Is he going to get the cutback here? On the next corner's a left-hander at Palmer, as the DAF of John Powell still hangs on. Stephen Powell still 2nd, and are we going to see a podium for Ricky Collett? That will be a very popular result. It's been some time since he stood on the podium. Just needs to hold off Simon Reed. We concentrate for now on the battle of DAF against MAN, and there's contact as they go into Agostini. See, that's damaged the rear bodywork on John Powell's truck. They head out of Agostini. Still Rivett keeps up the pressure. Division 1 leaders will shortly be taking the checkered flag. There is Ryan Smith up towards Corham. Nobody within sight of him. There's the battle for second. Still Ricky Collins soaking up the pressure from Simon Reed. Pick up Division 2 again in just a moment. But it's going to be 4 out of 5 for Ryan Smith, continuing his march towards an 8th consecutive British Truck Racing Division 1 title. Win number 15 of the season for Ryan Smith. Total dominance. 4 out of 5 here at Snetterton. I'm sure if the third race this weekend had gone a little longer, he would have been on the podium there as well. Still the Division 2 battle goes on, I can tell you. Stephen Powell has taken second. Ricky Collett gets his first podium of the year, holding off Simon Reed. But now it's all about Division 2. Can John Powell hang on? Paul Rivette's going for it. Look at this, up towards Corham. He's got the inside line. Coming out of the bomb hole. Powell got sideways. Rivette's going through. Right in the last couple of corners, Paul Rivette takes the lead from John Powell into Murray's. Can John Powell get him back on the run to the line? I don't think he can. Oh, John Powell will be so frustrated. Paul Rivette bringing himself right into title contention this weekend. And he's going to snatch win number 4 of the weekend. Rivette wins it on the last corner virtually ahead of John Powell. And Adam Mint will take third in Division 2. We'll confirm the rest of the results in a moment. Great battle to right to the end there in Division 2 to round off the weekend. But there is one man in a different league here at Snetterton this weekend, lapping 2 seconds a lap quicker than everyone else in that last race. Flying Ryan Smith. We'll check out the provisional result then of our final British truck race of the weekend. Ryan Smith the winner by nearly 14 seconds in the end over Stephen Powell, and getting the fastest lap of the race by nearly 2 clear seconds as well. Powell second, well done Ricky Collett, a fine third place, holding off Simon Reed all the way. Stuart Oliver in 5th ahead of David Jenkins, Bradley Smith and Michael Oliver, with John Bowler and Tom O'Rourke completing the top 10. Paul Rivette snatching the Division 2 win, just 2 corners from home from John Powell, then Adam Bint and Craig Evans. Behind them was Neil Yates in the final Division 1 finisher. 16th place for Simon Cole and 17th for Jim Bennett. Craig Reed, sadly, a non-starter. Last couple of trucks just taking the checkered flag. Simon Cole ahead of Jim Bennett to finish off the weekend. Let's slow down to Pointy in Park Fermé.
Oh, I can't believe it. What a way to finish the weekend. Ryan, we'll get to you in a minute. Get around here quick. Come on. I'll tell you what, with the chats we've had this weekend, Steve, I cannot believe how well deserved that was. What a finish. The battle, he was still trying to catch you. You were obviously pulling away, Ryan. But I'll tell you what a fantastic race.
You know what? We've had such a bad weekend until that race, and Ryan and Arnie noticed something on the truck. Matt and the team, I don't know how they done it within 5 minutes before the start.
There were tools flying everywhere at the beginning of the assembly area.
Something that's been on the truck for so many years, and then it's made just such a difference. And thank you, Monkey. Them two told us, and my boys, how they done it. But he's underneath the angle grinding, as he's putting on, thinking we're not going to make it, and then it's just so nice to have the pace back. And it's been very disappointing this weekend until that meeting. So
I'm so thrilled for you, mate.
Made up. I was keeping in front of him, but he got let him go. I was going to take second all day long, and I'm happy for Ricky. He kept third, so it's brilliant. And the boys have worked so hard. It's been frustrating. So it's brilliant.
Well, we're going to go and see Ricky Collett now. Come on out, Steve. Let's go. Another fantastic, phenomenal result for Ricky Collett. Look at that, eh? Just in case you've forgotten, you just got podium in that race.
Race?
Race, yeah.
What race?
I've been told by someone going by the name Lancashire Hot Pot to call you a Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I'm about?
yeah. And I can say it's 1-0.
Oh, Ricky, honestly, we were on the edge of our seats the whole race. I'll tell you what, Simon was pushing and pushing.
Well done, Rick.
Cheers, absolutely incredible.
John, cock up.
So we'll let you have that one. We'll let you have that one.
if you don't make a mistake,
yeah,
then
that's
there's nowhere
it.
to pass.
That's it. And Ricky made it stick. That's it.
A couple of times.
Well, my eyes arms kicked in and everything, you know what I mean?
Spot on, mate. Absolutely.
Brilliant. It really is a great way to finish the weekend. I mean, we know we've not had any serious incidents that last race. Everyone's come out with big smiles. I think it's been a really great way to finish Snetterton, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
Going home with a bit of goldware.
Goldware? Oh, that'll do, yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Solid gold.
I don't know, I've not bitten it, but yeah, you're telling me it is.
Check the teeth. Check the teeth marks.
The teeth marks, that's it. You're happy about that,
It's brilliant, yeah. Thank you very much.
Go on, go and see her. Get in there, Ricky. Go on. This is what it's all about. The celebrations, the great feelings of success. But of course, we must remember that over here we've got reigning champion Ryan Smith, who apparently also had a hand, probably with Chief Mechanic Arnie, that never likes to be on film in the distance there, noticing something with Steve's truck. What was it?
To be fair, Steve's had some bad luck. I can't take any credit, by the way.
I know it's Arnie, but you're the mouthpiece, so just tell us what it's for.
Powell has helped us when we got a problem with our truck. You know, we did them a favour and his crew pace come out and he finished second. I'm delighted for Steve, but I'm so delighted
I think
for
we
Ricky
all
Colley.
are, yeah.
Honestly, Ricky Colley, he drives his heart, gives 100%. He's the bread and butter of this championship. He is absolutely... he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet, apart from Tony
Bradley. The amount of people that have run over to congratulate him is fantastic.
Well, that's the problem. When you win all the time, nobody wants to say well done.
No, this is what I keep ignoring. I was like, look, we've done you. We've done you this week.
No, this is not about me. This is about Steve Powell. It's about Ricky Colley, Dave Jenkins winning, Michael Oliver back up there. Do you know what? I think it's been a successful Snetterton.
It's been brilliant all round. Ryan, thank you very much. Now we've got just enough time, I think, if we run down now to speak to the Division 2 drivers, hopefully. How do, Michael? Nice claim on that, claim on. Let's get down here. I can see Paul Rivette in the distance now. There was a bit of a chop and change with the results of race 4. If you head over onto the TSL website, you'll be able to find more up-to-date results for any disqualifications and penalties that they had on that. So I just let him pass. There we go. Here we are. I've got to be in front of the truck. I tell you, the damaged truck. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. It was you and John Powell. I mean, let's not go too much into detail of the last race. I know you both had your wrists slapped according to the TSL updates, but yeah, I mean, obviously you've had another great result, back on top. I tell you, you two are obviously ones to watch, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a fight all the way to the end of this, isn't it? You know, and
so close.
Yeah, and it's what amazing racing it's been today. You know, it started off the weekend with some fairly straightforward races yesterday, and then with the reverse grids today, they always bring something, so much fun into the mix. And yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed the weekend. It's just been brilliant.
It has been brilliant. I mean, we've just been up with the Division 1 guys. The vibes up there that we're getting. I mean, Ricky Collett, Steve Powell. I mean, where's Steve Powell come from all of a sudden? But Ricky Collett, honestly, the amount of people that are up there to congratulate him, it's just lovely to see.
He's a lovely man, he really is, you know.
It's brilliant, a great end to the weekend.
I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody in the Napa team, you know, all the guys that are here, everybody behind the scenes, Taco Sis as well. You know, without them I wouldn't be here, and it's just a pleasure to be part of this, and I'm just loving it as much
Absolutely
as ever.
Absolutely love it. I say, you can tell he's on a high, can't you? My goodness me. Paul, well done, sir. Very good job. We'll get you a trophy handed out shortly. Can we see any other Division 2 drivers? Let's head to the back. Let's see. We've got a 3 for 1 deal going on down here. 3 for 1. What a bargain. So I just do a 180 so we can get you all in. There we go. Not all of you. That's impossible. But hey! Oh, sorry, Craig. Just trod on your foot there. So I think that was a pretty clean finish to the weekend. What are you saying, Adam?
Yeah, just struggled for a decent setup all weekend, but we've come away with a podium in each race, so I'm happy with that.
Very good result. And Craig, you've refound that reliability from yours?
Yeah, we've ironed out the gearbox problems and bits, and it was a good strong finish.
And so, I mean, we're finishing races. Let's not, but you know, not taking the mickey. We've had some serious trouble moving through the year. It's really great to see you back on the circuit, really showing us what you've got.
Yeah, no, I'm over the moon really with the weekend. That was our first plan. We've not broke down any race. I could have retired that last race. We've got no brakes on the back, on the front of it. We was competitive for 3 or 4 laps, so we are getting there. Hopefully by Brands Hatch we might be somewhere.
And then we're looking to next year then, and we've just got to find that feat, and then once you've got it, you've got the tune, you just got to play it.
Yeah, once my mojo's back, I'll be away.
Well, there we go. It's been an exciting weekend here at Snetterton with just 2 more race meetings left of the 2023 season. I've certainly enjoyed myself. We've seen some fantastic racing action, but that is unfortunately all we've got time for. So it's thank you very much to all of you that have viewed, and of course all of our fantastic sponsors, and of course the BTRC and Trucksport UK. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from him. And a goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
Have you seen this trailer? If you have, take a photo when safe and then send it to us. All for a chance to win one of our 5 miniature truck and trailers.
Repairing or maintaining commercial vehicles, you need total care. Whether you're fitting out a new workshop, bringing your vehicle maintenance in-house, or thinking of an upgrade, our equipment experts will make the process simple. And with UK-wide service engineer coverage and flexible finance options, you can be sure that for workshop equipment, it's total care.